What's up? What's up? What's going on, y'all? We live for another graveyard shift. This is episode 13. Uh, so we're gonna talk about a couple of things. It wasn't no game tonight. We're gonna talk about some of the new hires, some of the new coaches, Frank Vogel, Monty Williams, Nick Nurse. All getting new gigs. Um, you know, just some regular stuff. Give y'all some time. Let some people file in, see who pulls up. Yeah, we know. See a little more about the situation with John Morant. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I suppose. Um, they say, Will Adam Silver said that they uncovered some new stuff. So I don't know what the investigation is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who's conducting the investigation. I'm not privy to that information, but it's looking like it's going crazy. I see Timothy Jackson, Leaf Diggy. I see y'all in there. I'm gonna send a link out right now. You know what I'm saying? Shit, we don't got no time to waste. Anybody want to pull up? Y'all know y'all always more than welcome in here. Always welcome to the graveyard shift. Um, as y'all see down here on the banner right here, the live 24-hour appreciation show is coming soon. Sunday, so day after tomorrow, we'll get started. It's at 8 a.m., but I think I might jump it off a little earlier actually on Sunday, just to show my appreciation to y'all for subscribing to my channel, viewing my content, and I figure if y'all see me really dedicated to do a 24-hour show, I figured that'll show y'all I'm serious about this content. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna waste your time with no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? None of that type. So I got you. See, yeah, one of my sons, he likes to do YouTube, but some stuff ain't for the kids though. Leave dick.
Bobby,
Yox, what's good?
Tim was happening.
Leaf, what's good?
Ain't shit. I was actually somebody was actually telling me that cause the hiring from the Suns, they was actually looking at Sam Cassell for a split second. I don't know how true that was or whatever,
And what
but
do you know what happened with that? Did Sam Cassell didn't want the job, or did they just kind of move away from it?
I have no idea. I think Sam Cassell might have wanted to stay on like a certain coaching staff or something like that. But
Well,
that
is
was like,
Doc gonna get another gig? Or?
I hope not. I mean, I think Doc need a break, man. Like like Doc got 9 lives in the NBA, bro. Like he the only coach that get traded, bro. Every time he get fired, bro. Like he don't even get fired. He get a new job like right away. I
Yeah.
think
What y'all
yeah.
think about Vogel though? You think Vogel be a good fit with Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and them cats?
I don't think Vogel has. I don't think Vogel has what it takes to manage Kevin Durant and Devin Booker in terms of like where their egos might be. Aiton is still like the Aiton and Chris Paul is still a question marks for this offseason because the thing is what do you do with them, like because Aiton clearly was unhappy with Monty Williams obviously, but now you got Monty Williams out. And now Vogel, who, if you look at his history with the Pacers, Vogel was he was very intricate on in like when he was with the Pacers, when he's head coach with the Pacers, when they had Hibbert, he
Uh,
included Hibbert in the offense, Roy
so
Hibbert in the
because
offense.
I remember Roy Hibbert had, what was it, two damn near monster seasons he had.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, that was like the last of like that we seen really a Roy Hibbert, obviously, but obviously DeAndre Ayton is a little bit more mobile. At least, like I think if Vogel is getting him involved in somewhat of an offense and somewhat of a flow of things early, he'll go out there and he'll go out there and just dive on the floor and basically spill blood for him. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So
look,
like,
look here. So speaking of Aiden, though, Leaf, in the comment section right now, we got Traysky, I think it's Traysky. He says that Aiden's getting traded for Miles Turner and Buddy Hield. The Pacers have been trying to move Miles Turner and Buddy Hield for a significant amount of time. So I don't know if that's what's gonna happen, but that's not bad for the Suns if they can get a shooter like Buddy Hield, weak ass, and then also, I got to acknowledge that the boy can shoot the ball, but he weak as fuck though.
You think the Pacers would
I
trade
feel
Miles Turner after they just gave him that contract?
The Pacers, you remember they offered Aiden that contract. Remember the Suns had to match that from restricted free agency last year.
right.
Yeah, so
And
I
the
think
Sun and the Suns messed around and matched it.
I think that shows that the Pacers are at least interested in DeAndre Ayton.
Right.
And I think DeAndre Ayton running up and down with my man Tyrese Halliburton, Benedict Mathurin. And I don't know what pick they got, but I know it's a lottery pick this year. So, what's the one kid's name? Is it? Do they got that? Because I get those two cats mixed up. They kind of look alike. Book Night and no, Book Night's with Charlotte, right? What's the other kid they got over there?
I think that's O'Shea Brissett or David Mbois and Waba or something like some.
I don't think so. I don't think that's his name. But if it'll come to me, they got Benedict Mathurin. Yeah, I know Benedict, but they got another light skinned kid.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, Big Ox. I remember I seen the video. He crossed Steph ass up something crazy.
Yeah. It's not because they got
talking about O'Shea Brissett.
Oh, that's it. Nimhar. Yeah, Marbucks, appreciate you.
Nimhar. I know I had his name somewhat on my mind. Because I was playing 2K and I seen it. I was playing against the Pacers. I was like, who's licensed motherfucker? I'm like, all right, but I
really like Benedict Mathurin. I liked him when he was at Arizona. I seen him playing like in it was the conference tournament, and he just looked like a man out there amongst boys for real.
That is true, but the thing is, Benedict Mathurin, he had hit a wall at some point in the season because he was dogging early on, and then he kind of came back down to earth, or like realistically, like towards like the middle of the season.
Well, you know how that go though. If that's them kind of catching on, like, okay, this young boy here to play, so we got to give him a different look. Also, in college, what is he playing? 35, 45, 55 games. NBA, that's a 82 game season. I'm sorry. So that's a lot on your body. Like a lot of times we talk shit about these cats. Like, oh, they want to shorten the season, but 82 games, that's a lot of basketball.
It is a lot of basketball, and the thing is most importantly is like the players today train different as opposed to like the 20th century, like the 80s and 90s dudes, man. Like you had to train more to like take punishment in the paint because that's how the game was played back then. You know what I'm saying? So now, they just train different. That's all it really is, man. Like that's really, you got guys that's like around in between like 220 and 195 as opposed from like 235 back then. It was like 235 and maybe like 260 around.
So you saying they slim it down now?
Yeah, they definitely train different. You could tell. You could tell. It's obvious they train different. Like it's so obvious they train different. Like they train different. But they're not training for most of the punishment. They training more legs for wear and tear on their legs and miles on their body. You know what I'm saying? Because they got to run more. It's a lot more sprinting up and down the court. It's a little bit more possessions. Threes is getting a lot more 3-pointers getting shot. It's a 3 and you go back down the other end. It's a 3, you go back down the other end. It's you look at every game in a regular season. Almost every game is like that in the course of like within the quarters and functions of the game, where teams is trying to get a run going and they just get shots up. You know what I'm saying? Because they not really built to like run in the paint. Everybody's not built to run in the paint and take contact and take punishment. Like a lot of the role players are definitely 10 times better than they was in any era, obviously. But Yeah, but they just training different. You could obviously see it, Bobby. Like it's obvious. You know what I'm saying? It's not too much players that's putting on the build early on. You know what I'm saying? But they definitely train different.
I don't typically listen to Gilbert Arenas much. I did, I actually did discover his show the other day. I was just flipping through YouTube on the TV in the living room, and I ended up watching it for a little bit. It was interesting. It was interesting, but like me, I just don't like Gilbert Arenas much. Like when he do his little interviews and talk and shit, he be sounding like, oh no, I don't want to get into that. I don't want to personally attack anybody. But,
I do, because I ain't got no filter. You know that. Gil is definitely a goofy, but at 9 times out of 10, bro, like like he ain't gonna like lie about something. He seen what he
yeah.
seen. You know, somebody that played in
But so
anybody
what
that
I'm
played in the
saying,
NBA, they got that. They basically got that stamp of approval as to what they're seeing from then and and what they seeing now. Like
well, yeah. So I'm not taking that away from him. But so what I was saying to say, like he's saying that nowadays they're not all the way as in shape as they were, because like now the guards run a lot less in the game because they're going from 3-point line to 3-point line, as opposed to when he was playing they had to run 94 feet. What do y'all think about
well,
that?
Well, yeah, that's true in the case of the matchups, because he talked a lot about when you think about the guards, it was more attacking guards, and like Iverson, J Kidd, Gary Payton, those they played inside the 3-point line. They played more, all right, more run up and down. You know how Jason Kidd played. He get the ball off the backboard, he going full lift in the court. You know what I'm saying? Gary Payton was more post you up, because he was kind of a big guard. He was a good 6'4", 6'5". He was more post you up, and get in the 15 feet area and that type of thing. You know, post the
Yeah,
little guards up. Gil was a big guard himself. I mean, he was the first guard that was really a 3-level scorer type of point guard.
at
If
a
you
high,
really think about it,
at such a
he could
high
score on
level.
all 3 levels. Yeah, like, so, you
Yeah,
know what I'm saying. So like he was before the injuries, he was able to get to the next level and kill you from the perimeter. You know what I'm saying? Like he had like the mid range game of the Allen Houston, long range Chauncey Billups, and could get to the next level before the injuries. So he was really the first 3-level point guard at his position, realistically, in terms of like a scorer, like somebody that could fill it up for like 30 and give you 30 on any given night. You know what I'm saying?
that's high praise, Lee. That's high praise.
Nah, he really was. In terms of his playing style, he was. I mean, obviously he a goofy man, but he definitely he was at his best. He was giving up 28, 29 a game. Like we can't deny that. So the difference is in terms of like how the players are building their games. It's a lot more perimeter based, obviously. It is what it is, and the players, the guards today are much better shooters than they was then. Obviously, when you look at Dame, Darius Garland, Steph, like
Uh,
the main guys, like the main go-to hitters, man. Even Donovan Mitchell, to like one of the best pull-up shots in the game today.
yeah,
Um, One of the best pull-up shooters I've seen when I was coming up was T Mac.
yeah,
You know, like he could get right over you at 6'8", 6'9", and he could get right over you and just pull up over anybody. And he had
yeah.
that athleticism to go with it as well.
Yeah, well,
So
let me refocus us a little bit back to these coaching changes, and just kind of how we feel about that. Tim, between so what have we seen? We got Nick Nurse in Philly now. We got Monty in Detroit, and we got Vogel in Phoenix. Of those three moves, do you like which ones do you think were the best moves for the coach?
hey,
And which one
Bobby,
do you think was the best
Not to
for
cut you
the
off.
team?
Not to cut you off. But we got old boy in Milwaukee, or Adrian
Oh, yeah, Adrian Griffin.
Adrian Griffin. Yeah.
Yeah. Good looking, good looking. I forgot. So between Adrian Griffin in Milwaukee,
And
Monty in Detroit,
Nick Nurse.
Nick Nurse in Philly, and Vogel in Phoenix. Tim, who do you think was the best for the coach? Well, no, let's put a franchise. Which one do you think was best for the franchise specifically?
Man, Ox, man, it's kind of hard for me to say, man. Honestly, man, I don't know. I don't know how to answer it, man. I don't know, man. I think besides Monty Williams, shit, I think all those coaches, man, are I think like the microscope on them is going to be huge because obviously Nick Nurse, he's getting Joel Embiid, he's getting reigning MVP.
Yeah.
He's never been to a conference finals. So the pressure on Nick Nurse, at minimum, he has to get the 76ers to the conference finals. Otherwise, they should have just kept Doc. And also Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel got arguably two top 10 players in the NBA on the same team. So I mean, it's looking like Western Conference Finals or bust or Finals or bust. You know what I'm saying? So and Griffin, yeah, Griffin. I ain't gonna lie, he gonna have a lot of pressure on him too because he's inheriting a championship roster. So
Right.
I think shit, they all kind of in lose situations if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's either if you look at Phoenix and the talent they got, it's either finals or bust. With the
So what about Monty though?
Monty, I mean, he's inheriting a whack ass team, so I think pretty much Monty is there to develop them young guys, get the best out of Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, even to a lesser extent, what's his name? James Wiseman. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's really no pressure on Monty Williams though. But who I think has the most pressure out of all those coaches hiring, man, I probably got to get a slight edge to Griffin and Vogel because
Okay.
obviously you're inheriting the Milwaukee Bucks. They already have championship aspirations, and they just got bounced out in the first round. And obviously, with Vogel, you got Devin Booker and you got KD and possibly DeAndre Ayton. So I mean, if man, it's gonna be hard, man.
Yeah. I want to get your take on this too, Leaf, but Andrew G just said something very interesting, and this never crossed my mind until Andrew G said this just right now. He says Bob Myers finessing his way to the Spurs. Watch.
I was actually I be on so many different channels during the day, and like I said, bro, I know people worse than Ticket. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like I really
Worse
do.
than, what do you mean by worse?
I mean,
Worse
I'm
what?
not worse, but like in terms of like the behind the scenes shit, bro. Like they'll give you a lot more news and go in depth. If you ever listen to Ticket Channel, like he'll give you news that you don't like nobody else will really know about. Like it's maybe like two, three, four, or five people like
Yeah.
on YouTube or Patreon that might know about it. I follow those people. I'm not gonna hold
Okay. Hey,
you,
well,
but
y'all heard it. If y'all want some exclusive breaking news, y'all make sure to follow Ticket TV. I'm pretty sure if you following me, then you're following him. But just in
yeah,
case if you
definitely.
don't follow Ticket TV, you know what I'm saying. Y'all
Yeah,
make sure y'all go and subscribe to the Big Homie channel.
yeah, but if I had to say, I think who somebody that's probably more at ease is Monty Williams because he in a position basically where there's no pressure. There's really no pressure like in Detroit, but like Detroit ain't win a playoff game in how many years? Like, come on, like they ain't come on. It ain't no pressure over there. You developing
When
young
is the
guys.
last time they won a playoff game? Do
I
you
have
know?
no idea. It's probably since Rashid and if I had to say probably since Rashid and whatchamacallit, because I don't think they won anything with Drummond. I don't
Yeah.
think they won a playoff game with Drummond. I don't think they won a playoff game with Blake. I don't think they won a playoff game with none of them. But so
Hey, Leaf, that must suck to have a franchise that ain't won a playoff game in a while. I don't know nothing about that though.
Bobby, stop that. Cut that shit out, bro.
I don't know
Cut
nothing
that
about
shit out.
that,
Bobby, cut that shit out. Don't
man.
do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, we
Don't.
back, nigga.
All right, don't do that, man. Put that cigar down. Let's stop bullshitting. But I think if I had to say Monty is in the best position. I think they if he do well, he up for like a 6 year extension. Like I want to say close to like 100. Like if not,
A
I
six
don't
year
know what.
extension
Yeah, yeah,
on
yeah.
a 6 year contract already?
I something like that. I don't know the numbers exactly, but Ticket might have had it on his channel. Somebody else might have had it on their channel, but I gotta check it again. But
That's fine.
if I had to say who is in the most pressure,
Uh,
I probably have to go with Nurse in Philly and Vogel out in whatchamacallit, because the thing is neither one of those teams, obviously the Sixers ain't get past the second round. They looking for Nurse to be the extender, and Phoenix digressed. because they was in the finals 2 years ago, and back to
Right.
back years with Monty, they got blown out on their home floor, and in closeout games to get sent home in the
So
playoffs.
let me
So
so
like,
let, so let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Between those two jobs, the Phoenix job and the Suns job, and it's in chat. I want y'all to put y'all answer in here too. Which job would you rather have, Phoenix or Philly?
had it been me, oh damn, had it been me, I go with Phoenix because they got a new owner. The new owner is probably gonna be a little bit more lenient. Kevin Durant is on, even though Kevin Durant is on like his golden years, basically, like in the NBA, like in terms of going up. I think what's going on in Philly is mostly like it seemed like a divide and conquer type of thing going on in Philly, where is if James Harden decides to like piggyback on with Daryl Morley, then that means that could probably be the end of Joel Embiid, because the thing is they really like the thing is they don't really have the roster right now. Nick Nurse want guys that can play defense. He want guys that can
Right.
run and play defense. Right now, they right now, as of right now as we speak, they trying to get Fred Van Vliet as they first pick up in the offseason. So you can already tell what type of players he want. He want them go getter type of players, them never quit type of players. Yeah, hustle, get to the hustle plays, win the 50-50 plays type players. And James Harden and whatchamacallit don't fit that bill, as you said, but as you know, and me and you both know, they are bums as far as, man, like taking it to the next level, man. Like they ain't cutting it. They not cutting the mustard at all. So
Are you surprised that Mike D'Antoni ain't getting another job?
I am surprised. I am surprised. I thought Philly. I honestly thought Philly was going to be the spot for him, but then again, Mike D'Antoni in the Eastern Conference, it don't really fade well. I think he's more of a Western Conference guy.
Right.
Where like he could get the numbers up or run when he ran the 7 seconds or less offense in Phoenix, man, it worked because it came out of left field with Nash and Amari and all those dudes. It came out of left field. They was winning 60 games left and right. The problem was they couldn't get out of the West. That was their only problem. And then defense was their only problem, as you remember. So the thing is, realistically, with Philly, I'm trying to figure out how this roster is gonna change up in terms of who they're gonna run with going forward, because Joel is going to be 30 next year, and James Harden is still in strip clubs. He's still taking trips to Miami and this, that, and the third. I don't know, man. Like, so it seemed like it's still a debacle over there. So if I had it for me, I'd rather take Phoenix, because the thing is about Phoenix, Kevin Durant is going to ball regardless. His thing is Kevin Durant is just old. That's all it is. So that's my take on it, man.
Huh.
Oh yeah, and one more thing to speak on the Bob Myers thing that Andrew G said.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Bob Myers thing. Wow, I wouldn't put it past him in terms of trying to get down to San Antonio. The problem is this is this that building process is a building process. This is one of the reasons why I hated the draft lottery, because, as I said, anybody a Wimby size 7'4" and up, man, they careers don't really last that long. Obviously,
Yeah.
you listen. And I said that, and I had there was a video to go check that. You might want to check out somebody by the name of Jimmy High Roller. He has a video on that a video talking about like the tallest players in the league and how long they last. I think Rick Smith's probably lasted the longest. He was 7'4". He lasted about 11 years. So and Sean Bradley lasted about a good 10, but he didn't really play that many minutes or towards the second part of his career.
Right.
So the thing is, the San Antonio thing is kind of tricky, because it's a process that has to be built from like the ground up. So I don't think San Antonio is one of them teams that was always, even when you go all the way back to when they got Duncan, that was just the piece that they needed, and it just all clicked. They had veterans to teach. It was just, all right, yo, Duncan was just ready, 4 year college ready and ready to go. You know what I mean? Me, you, and Chill had a conversation on that. So I don't know about Bob Myers. I don't know about the Bob Myers situation, but that's going to be interesting. It's going to be a real interesting offseason
Well, I
Because
gotta assume in San Antonio that they're getting prepared for the departure of Pop, whether it's in 3, 4, 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that timeline looks like, I don't know. But I gotta assume they're preparing for life after. You know what I'm saying? When Pop is gone, so they gotta be looking to bring somebody in there that's made moves in the NBA that people respect around the league. I think Bob Myers might be a good look as far as taking over that GM position.
And yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And as far as the coach, I'm gonna go ahead and agree on you on something that we was talking about the other week. Becky Hammond. I think that's somebody that she was on that coaching staff before.
Yeah,
She already know the ins and outs of that franchise, and she already know the ins and outs of like idea what Pop is doing over there, and what the organization and the front office is trying to do. The only thing that's still in question is they medical staff, because they met that situation with Kawhi got turned left. So I mean that's the only thing that's really still in question.
yeah. I love Becky Hammond, but man, the way the NBA is, man, that's a
I said the same thing, Bobby.
wrong.
And the thing is, I think honestly, to be honest with you, if David Stern was still running it and we was talking about this Becky Hammond thing, I would have vetoed it in a heartbeat. Because
Yeah,
the thing is, I know David Stern is a traditional guy.
yeah.
He not gonna break that tradition for nobody. But the fact that Adam Silver Slipper, aka Mr. Mackey from South Park, he'll probably he'll probably get the owners together and get like
Oh
everybody.
shit, that's a fact, Leaf. We forgot about Emma in Houston.
E-Man Houston, right,
He just
right.
got that gig too. So now that we've been enlightened about that, uh, does he have a lot of pressure on him?
No. He's in the same boat as Monty in terms of like just getting the young guys to listen.
Who gets
And
to the playoffs first, Houston or Detroit?
Detroit,
Chad,
because
who gets to the playoffs first, Chad? Houston or Detroit? We got to know.
I'm gonna go with Detroit, because I think the Eastern Conference is gonna be on a more of a flip kind of light rebuild real soon, because Boston is starting to digress and Philly is not really making the jump. And because listen, at any time you got a Miami team like this, like beating you like convincingly, like then you got problems. Then it's time
Yeah.
to do something in terms of trades, in terms of what you're doing, in terms of what you're running. The thing is, Milwaukee won a championship. They didn't change anything. Boston been to the finals, but they didn't change anything. That's the thing. Like they still
Boston did. Boston brought in
they
Malcolm
bought
and
in
Danilo.
Brogdon. Yeah, they bought in Brogdon, and they bought in and Missoula was still there. But it
Yeah, but
seemed like
they brought Danilo in. He got hurt though.
right. They bought Danilo and he got hurt. My thing is that in terms of Boston's front office, when we look at this team outside of Brogdon and White, that's Danny Ainge's team. He built that. If you go look at it, Al Horford was there before he left. Robert
Yeah.
Williams was there before he left. JB was there for the JT Smart. A lot of those guys that was there for that 5 year period when JT got drafted and they went to the finals the year before with IT, they were still there. That's Danny Ainge's team.
So,
So the thing is, with this new CBA and with the money that JB is looking to get with another All NBA season, like you looking at Boston, who is not known for paying people the big bucks. They could flip it. They'll flip that roster in a second and try it all over again. They did it with IT. They did it with the big three before, and I won't be surprised if they do it again. This is one of the reasons why I said, yo, JB and JT. What's the third option on the Denver Nuggets right now? The MPJ.
yeah,
By the time JB and JT win a championship, those are the options that they're gonna be on their championship teams, guaranteed. Mark my words about it, bro. That's gonna be their roles. Their roles is gonna be spot up and take the crazy itchy trigger finger threes and get hot, and then play defense on the other end. And that's where they have their best. I do not want them initiating offense in the future ever again.
yeah. No, I don't like that role for either one of them.
Neither.
They need to do something. Like I said, Jalen got to go. They got to get a good point guard in there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I love JB with y'all. I love either JB or JT with y'all. It don't matter which one whatever one y'all get first. To me,
Nah, man, Boston ain't coming off with Jason Tatum. Yeah,
okay, then they get JB then.
I mean that's who I want.
Okay, I get JB with y'all. Y'all still got Sabonis who could thread the needle, and you still got Fox and Monk who could push pace and get him up the court. And because the thing is, JB is gonna run a one. He's gonna want to run. He's still young. He only 27, 28, or 26, 27 years old. Let him run. Let him get easy buckets. Let him get them easy layups, them easy dunks. Fill the lane. Spot up for three. Play defense. That way, leave the ball handling duties to Fox and the facilitation duties to Sabonis. Y'all good. Y'all good money. That's the win.
Yeah,
That's the win y'all needed. Yeah, like
I'm
now y'all speeded up the Keegan Murray process. Just with
yeah.
that play.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna drop a video tomorrow explaining my trade idea. How we could pull it off.
Mm.
How we could pull it off.
I think if I had to, Davion Mitchell is probably gonna have to be included in that deal for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Davion, I think y'all still got picks. I'm sure.
Yeah, but
Davion picks.
it'll be Davion, Kevin Herter, and because I'm not talking my way to the deadline. I'm talking about this summer. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be Davion, Kevin Herter, a sign and trade with Harrison Barnes. You know, and
They might. I ain't gonna lie. You looking for Highway? They might want Keegan. I ain't gonna lie to you.
no, we're not doing that.
You ain't giving
But
up.
that's
You ain't giving up Keegan for JB.
no, we're not doing that.
Nah,
If Keegan got to go, then we'll just wait. We'll just let Keegan get better because
right.
he already
You
know.
trying to play 2K, Bobby? Come on, bro.
Nah, but my thing is, we obviously there have to be another team involved. I think that the other team involved will be Utah. I think Atlanta might be able to get involved in the 4-team type situation. You know, I'm not trying to be unrealistic. I'm just trying to make a way to where everybody can win.
I think if you talking business with Boston, I think Danny Ainge is probably the first person you go to like for a 3-way trade. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, Utah.
Because
You
he
know,
probably
Utah.
gonna want to. Because I don't know how he still feel about the way that he stepped down. Because I was hearing that there was a lot of stuff behind the scenes, like stuff we don't even really know about. But
Yeah.
I don't know how he really feel about that
I mean,
situation
but
over there.
at the end of the day, though, you know, business is business. So shit,
Yeah,
somebody, you know, they got to do something, you know. But I think Utah moving off of Utah moving off of Colin Sexton, Kelly Olynyk, a couple guys like that. Those couple guys like that. Some of the what you call it, some of the picks and whatnot. You know, they got picks. There's a lot of
they
picks
got
out
picks
there.
for days. Yeah, I
Yeah,
ain't gonna lie.
there's a lot of
Danny
picks
Ainge
out there.
loaded up.
So
He loaded up. He loaded up with picks. That's the first thing he did was loaded up because two of the biggest trades before this season started was Rudy to Minnesota and Donovan Mitchell to Cleveland.
yeah,
So
they set it off with that.
yeah, they set it off with that, and they put the league at a standstill because KD asked for a trade, and everybody was trying to catch a jack move for him because they caught a jack move for basically Rudy Gay. There was no way Rudy. Did you ever think Rudy Gay was worth 9 assets?
Nah, Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, Rudy. Yeah,
Yeah, nah, I think they got a little more.
yeah. I
I
ain't gonna
don't
lie.
think they expected to get that.
Me neither.
They asked for it, but you know what I'm saying. They wouldn't expect them to say yeah.
And this is the thing about when you trading in the NBA, there's a saying a sucker is born every day.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying. So I mean, business is business, but somebody gonna get finessed. It ain't always gonna be peaches and herb, man. Like for both sides. So, I
Yeah.
mean, it is what it is. But
What's
the email situation?
uh,
Just to speak on that a little bit. I think Ime might have pulled the trigger too soon. I think it because he was the first one that jumped at a job, and
yeah,
once they
but
got rid of Silas,
what would he rather have? Like of all these jobs, which one would have been better for him?
if I had to say, I think the email Phoenix because KD was real high on him. Remember, he was on our coaching staff over on the Nets not too long ago, and KD was real high on him. KD wanted to come to Boston because of him. JB was high on him as well. So look for JB. I don't know if JB gonna go to Houston, man. And I think that listen for that tax free bread, man. Like, listen, you can't
I
argue with
don't know.
that.
I think I like. I think Emma would rather be in a situation like Houston, Detroit, one of those type of situations to build to put his own imprint on a young team. So I
Mhm.
think Houston is a better position as a coach like Emma Doka than Phoenix is.
I think I would agree with it in the case of Monty because Monty he went like once Chris Paul came to that roster. Remember before that, the best thing they did with that roster is when they was in the NIT Invitational and they went 8-0 and they didn't even get a playing game.
Yeah,
So and then the next year they got CP and they didn't make the final. Remember they didn't make the playoffs in 10 years, and then they made the playoffs and got right to the finals. And then they regressed ever since. You know what I'm saying? And like I don't think I think that Monty was like kind of realistically kind of overwhelmed. Like if I had to say, because the thing is, I'm pretty sure he didn't expect 80 to get hurt in the first round. He didn't expect Kawhi to get hurt in the conference before the conference finals.
right,
You know what I'm saying? So like it was kind of right place, right time, but at the same time it was kind of too much too soon because then you got Giannis waiting for you in the finals, and he got a 50-piece waiting for you.
right,
So
right.
I mean, Monty, I think Monty kind of he kind of caught lightning in a bottle with the way that with the run that they had, and then the next year they won 60 something games and got dusted off by Luca, and then this year they got manhandled by Joker. You know what I'm saying? So that's 2 years that you got you manhandled by every international player there is. They all put you out. You know what I'm saying? Like
So it was Giannis first, then
yeah,
Luka,
Giannis
then
first,
Jokic.
then Luka, then Joker. Like the three of the
That's
best.
cool. I didn't even put that together.
Yeah, the three of the best international players in the game. You
Yeah.
got worked by all three of them.
I never
You
thought
know,
I'd say this. I never thought I'd say this, but I like to feel bad for Chris Paul.
I don't feel bad for him, man. Like he's a piece of trash, bro. He always has been. There's just
Piece
a
of
lot of
trash.
people. Yeah. A lot of people just don't know. He's an antics guy, man. I don't mess with him. You
Mm.
know, but I think in the CP thing, they got to figure out what they're gonna do in the off season with that because if you plan on playing CP another 40 something million at the age of 38, what 37 or what 38, 39 years old, then yeah,
Said Chris Paul. Chris Paul need to go somewhere where he can play 22 minutes a game.
nah, he need to go see. Yeah, I got the perfect place for him. Taiwan, go over there with what you
Ah,
call it.
shit. He ain't
Yeah,
at that stage yet. Shit, Milwaukee might need him.
I think you know what I think Milwaukee might need when the second that you said Milwaukee, I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, please don't. Because he's gonna get chewed up on the defensive end at this stage in his career, bro. Oh man, it's gonna be bad.
Bro,
We
somebody,
seen,
somebody, somebody out there is still naive enough to want Chris Paul.
I mean, out of the other 29 teams, man, I'm just thinking of like you said, like I said, a sucker's born every day, man. So I don't know, man. But I think CP is good for like a young group of guys. Like when he was with OKC, what he did for SGA and Lou Dort and all those guys, man. Like
Yeah.
I think that's another team I would love to put stock in, but I don't know if you seen the news. Pakashevsky he's getting reevaluated in 6 weeks, and Chet is getting another reevaluation in another 4 weeks, man. So
Man,
they
ain't nothing wrong with Chet.
not, bro. They bones is brittle, man. Like come on, bro. Like they ain't I don't they basically slim dunking out there, bro.
It was
It's AD and Kevin Durant in their rookie years, bro. Like out there, that's what they is, man.
OKC
They
was just trying to get another pick.
yeah, they was trying to get a going pick, but yeah, man, this off season is gonna be one. it's gonna be one hell of an off season because a lot of teams is gonna try to figure out how to balance the bread out. I think we've probably seen the last of the Golden State Warriors as contenders. With Bob Myers stepping down. I don't even know who they're gonna hire. To be honest with you, I don't even know who's gonna get whoever get that job now. Like it's either they inheriting like a basically a 2010 Beamer with 100,000 miles on it, 200,000 miles on it, or I don't know because I don't know how long them dudes got left. Obviously, Draymond want to play with LeBron. Um, Steph and Clay, they probably on their last legs as the go-to players. I think as shooters, they could play alongside anybody if they stay a long time. But I don't think they're gonna do that. I don't see Steph going nowhere else. Maybe Clay, but I don't see Steph going nowhere else. Um, Jordan Poole, man, he need to stop throwing 500K man on BX chicks. Um,
That
uh,
was
uh,
a tax write-off.
Nah, I think it was Cap, man. He probably do maybe 50 on them, man. Like I don't know why I said that. I know I don't agree with that. I'm gonna call Cap on that one. Like I don't think that was no tax write up. But who else? Memphis. You was talking about the John Moran situation. Damn.
Yeah, I definitely want to get into that. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be honest
Um,
with you. It's
um,
getting so weird. I'm kind of at the point in that situation where I'm just like, oh my god.
real quick, Leaf, before we do dive into that though. Uh, y'all see Jackson Williams with the first super chat of the night telling y'all like the stream. Y'all make sure y'all click on that like button. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. If you haven't seen the banner at the bottom, we are doing the live 24-hour appreciation show coming this Sunday. It says 8 a.m., but I might start a little earlier than that. But all y'all welcome to jump in. Come show some love. Jackson Williams, we appreciate this super chat. Much love, much love. But
Definitely.
go ahead, though, Lee.
The John Moran situation is one of those situations where I'm kind of the more and more they continue to talk about it, the more I'm turning my head because now there's a lady involved that was working at the club or whatever. She claimed that John Moran ain't learned his lesson, this, that, and the third, da da da. She's starting to come forward. I think it's like more people at the club when he had that first incident started because that's what they still kind of harping on is the first incident.
That shit was egregious.
Yeah, it was. It was very egregious. But I like they still harping on that as a. It's not even the second incident they worry about. It's the first one. The first one they like it's people coming forward and it's women coming forward and everything and just don't look good for them. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like, man, listen, I'm listen. I'm all for like helping out the young brothers and like he's still young. He only 23, 24, whatever, probably younger than that, man. But like listen, man, like you like we said, man, yo, you can't be on autopilot. We said this on J Rod page. I'm gonna say it again on your page, man. You cannot be on autopilot, man. Like, and first off, you got a little baby girl. You gotta look at her, man. Like every time she on like on the sidelines, man, cutest thing ever, man. Like beautiful and everything, man. Like you listen, you gotta put that as priority because you cannot allow yourself to get in to put be in these situations and get in these situations where it's like, yo, you finna get lined up. If something go down, if anything could have went down in the club or incident and you there and you on camera, even if you didn't do anything, you public enemy number one. And I go all the way back to an incident back in the early '90s where Allen Iverson was about to get sentenced to life in prison. A lot of people don't know that he was about to get sentenced to like 20 some years. I don't know if it was life or not. I might have been exaggerated, but it was like 20 some years as a 17-year old. As a 17-year old, he got a pardon. If it wasn't for that pardon, man, like I don't know where I would be. My love for basketball would be without Allen Iverson. I'll
Right.
be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is a lot of these kids
they looking at John Morant, man, like pretty much how how Iverson was. Yo, this is a kid. This is somebody that's gonna change the game and and do a lot of things. His athleticism, obviously, a basketball player is through the roof. You know what I'm saying? I think outside of D Rose, he might be the best athlete at his position ever. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like, listen, I don't know what Adam Silver in the NBA is doing with this first investigation. I hope everything don't go crazy, man. That's all I could really say on it, man. Like I don't know. I don't know,
Uh,
Bobby. What you think of that?
as Dizzle, what's up?
Yo, y'all can hear me? I'm coming through.
Yeah, we can hear you good.
Man, what's up, Big Ox, man? First of all, salute to you, your channel, man. I've been watching you for a minute. I ain't never had a chance to actually chop it up with you. So you feel me? Just want to give you a love, give you some flowers. Leaf, I've been watching you for a minute too,
Appreciate
bro. I appreciate all the work you niggas do, man. For real, for real.
you. Right on.
I
Appreciate
appreciate it, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I ain't finna lie to you. I just seen you was live. I clicked it. I seen the link, so I just jumped in. I didn't even think I was gonna get up here fast enough. What
Oh
y'all
yeah,
up here cooking on, man? Y'all talking about a little bit of Ja?
yeah. We was talking
Yeah.
about we was talking about the coaching and whatnot first, but we talking about Ja right now.
Okay. Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, my little 2 cents on it. When the incident first happened, and I seen, you feel me, his initial reaction, I automatically, I don't want to sound like a nigga know everything, but like off top, I was like, I never took him serious. Like the whole, rehab, going to church, did the little interview with Rose. I didn't believe none of that because like I'm from the hood, like I'm from Long Beach. You from East Side Long Beach? Like, I got family members, all type of shit that's actually entangled in the shit, right? And I've seen I've seen somebody do something, beat something, come out and do it right again with no remorse. You feel me? So I had no faith in Ja. I wanted to see a whole year of him actually taking it serious, and before I actually bought into it. So to see him go right back a month later, it's sad, man. It's real sad to see.
Yeah, Chill Town was talking about it on Chill with Chill a lot. He's saying like when they gave him that 8-game suspension, you damn near already knew. Like that's a slap on the wrist. That's nothing. He's not gonna take this shit serious. On top of that, he a young boy, so he like. So look, so I was on. I see Tyson. Matter of fact, Tyson just jumped in the chat just right now. And I had jumped on Mookie's page, Rated R. I don't know if y'all following Mookie on Rated R's channel, on Rated R, but if y'all not, y'all make sure to do that. Subscribe to him as well. But anyways, I jumped on there, and you could tell from some of the cats that Tyson was talking to, they just hard headed, and that's what it is with Ja. He wasn't serious about none of that. You could tell he just think his shit don't stink. So you know how it go.
For real, man. That's what it come down to. It's like once you get that generational wealth, you feel me? Like I've been on Old Head podcast, T Price. That's like big bro to me. I talk to him outside of YouTube and shit.
Okay.
And we was up there chopping it up. And like, you feel me? Like I said, like, you feel me? I'm from the hood type shit. I got out of jail like 2020 type shit, bro. Like, you feel me? I'm nobody special or nothing like that. I work as a janitor type shit. But
Yeah.
like the life that I live type shit is like, nigga, I gotta keep it on me everywhere I go because I work in the hood. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
nigga see me, it could be on site, and it's just like, damn fool, for you to actually get a $200 million contract, nigga, you out the hood. Do you know what I would do to a nigga for 50 for a million? And you over here playing with 200 ends, like this generational wealth, your whole family finna be set. But you think it's cool to try to portray a certain lifestyle, and it's just like that's not good. I don't, saying he a young man, oh, he 20, 23, 21, like nigga, what is you talking about? I was out the house at 17, like on
Yeah.
my own. Once you got a child, you an adult, fool. Like you got to take care of business. Like you got the whole world watching you. You're not just representing yourself. You represent your family. You represent the niggas that come from your section. You represent black people. Like you just
Yeah.
making us look crazier and crazier.
Real quick, ask this because Tyson down here, he talking about like what I just said about hard headed. He said they hard headed ox. They calling cats coons for not supporting Ja. We lost, and I feel that because that's what it is. They act like if niggas don't just jump off a cliff for Ja, that we not supporting black folks. And I think it's the exact opposite. If we not holding ourselves accountable, to who gonna do it? Like what y'all doing is it's egregious, and it ain't no excuse for that type of behavior from anybody. So you feel me? Like for us to really be out here, like I said, we got to hold each other accountable because ain't nobody else gonna do it. They want to see us doing shit like what y'all's doing. But real quick, for foreign topics, he came through with the super chat, said only Reapers in the graveyard. Like the stream. Y'all make sure to like this video.
I ain't gonna lie, I gotta get my shit up, man, so I could get some of this damn topics. Some of that money.
What's up, Sebastian?
Text, what's the deal?
Contact Slime Jenkins. What's up with y'all?
What's good?
Salute.
Hey man, with the whole Ja thing, I think a good number would be like probably 45 games. But see, the difference between suspending him a year and suspending him like 45 games is you suspend him like half the season. You probably hoping that he eventually turn it around. But I feel like if you suspend him the whole season, like you taking action and like you ensuring that he ain't gonna do no shit again. Because if you sit down a year, it's like all you can think about really. But like if it was me, I would do half the season just because. I mean, he unfollowed the dude. What's the name? D-Tap on all platforms. So
who was D-Tap?
The dude who had him on live and the friend who got banned from all the games. Like he unfollowed him on all.
Man, but that's his internet shit though.
That's true.
I mean,
that's
true.
That's his internet shit like that. That could be just him. You know, that's another thing. Just like Dizzle was saying earlier, like that's just him going to the interview, having a meeting with Adam Silver, saying, "Oh, I'm gonna do the right thing." So if I unfollow my partner on Instagram, that don't mean that he can still pull through. It don't mean that I can't still pull through.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I
Can
do
y'all
like a year. It would ensure it just because you would have that time to sit like and really like you can't think about nothing else. And then if you do it after that, then you
this what I'm saying though, Jenkins. I don't know if that could have and obviously it's not the NBA's responsibility to make sure that Ja get his mind right. But I also do think that you have there's a risk of if you suspend Ja for a whole season, he gonna go the opposite way. Because obviously he's not all the way mature up top already. So he might take that suspension as, oh, y'all don't love me. I thought this, I thought that, man, fuck y'all. I'm gonna go do my thing. So you never know.
I
It's
ain't
a
gonna
hard
lie
one.
to you though. That kind of sound like a cop out, man. Like you a grown ass man, G. You an adult, fool. I can only excuse so much dumbass behavior. You feel me? Like at some point you gotta take it on the chin and be like, okay, let me mature up, let me get right, so I'm not putting myself in this position. You got nobody else but to blame but yourself. You feel me?
Yup.
Yeah, and I hate when people be blaming like Ja Morant dad talking about some T Morant dancing at the game. Like, bruh, Ja 23 years old. Like,
23.
his dad can say all he want, bro. That's a grown man with kids. Like, they need to stop blaming his dad. Like, he got him to the NBA, so he obviously done did something right.
Now you want to know something though, Slime? I hear that, but at the same time, you feel me? The apple don't fall too far from the tree. That's something that's not a joke. That saying didn't stick around for hundreds of years because it sounded cute. You feel me? You are the shepherd of your child. You feel me? My dad is 74. By the grace of God, I was able to avoid a lot of shit because I listened to him. You feel me? A lot of times I didn't, but because he was there in my life and guiding me and telling me like, you do this, don't do that, do this, don't do that. You know, you got to burn your hand on the stove a couple times. You get a couple ass whoopings, but after that, you straighten up. You start to really see. You feel me? And as the shepherd of Ja's life, it's up to his pop to kind of get in his ear, like, "Hey, I know you a grown man, but like, you feel me? You come on now, get your head out. What you doing? You're fucking up the bag."
Straight up. And that's the thing right there. See, I got two sons of my own. If I don't give a damn how old they are, if I see him doing this, especially with the money that Ja got coming from, I'm thinking about my grandkids. I'm thinking about his grandkids. I'm thinking about the family. Like, hold on, you not finna fuck this up. All the money I spent on these youth sports, because I know from experience, bro. I spend a lot of money on my kids' extracurricular activities and shit. So I'm like, all the money I put in this, all the driving I'm doing the AAU games, you know what I'm saying, keeping you fed, keeping you safe, keeping the light on. You not gonna fuck this up for your kids after, you know what I'm saying. So I feel like at any age, your kids are never too old to parent them. For me, I don't feel that way. Real quick though, my man Tyson Thomas came to with the super chat. Oh shit, you got them super chats. Salute King, health and wealth. Run up a meal on this thing. And we most definitely trying to get a meal on the YouTube. So y'all stick with us. Stick with us.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, his dad might have had that combo like behind the scenes, but like somebody said something. It's like your parents can only, like, I feel like society kind of raised you more than your parents do. Like I feel like he more influenced by a young boy than his dad.
See,
Like, to be honest.
but Slime, see, that's the problem, G. You feel me? I remember being young. Like, I'm only 28. You feel me? So I ain't trying to sound like a nigga old or I know everything, right? But
Yeah.
I done been in them situations where my mom was and my dad was like, "You not finna do that. I don't care if your friends is doing it or you think it's cool." You feel me? Put belt to ass, and now I'm sitting here recalibrating the way I think. You can't allow society to raise your children. You can't put a phone in front of them or a TV or a tablet and just say, "Here you go," and just allow that to be. It is what it is. This is your seed. This is your legacy. Step in there and make sure that his or her mind is right, so that way when they grow up, they don't depart from the shit you taught them. You feel me?
Hey, there's a real quick. I gotta address dude in the chat real quick, Chupa, because obviously you're not understanding that this ain't about breaking the law. You know what I'm saying? It's not about breaking the law. It's a lot bigger than that. I see you said earlier in the chat that you're young. So I understand that you're young. So once you continue to grow, continue to mature, have jobs from different walks of life, or whatever it may be, you'll understand that you can't do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? When you're employed by somebody at that level, that magnitude, they got a brand to protect. So breaking the law isn't you can do shit that's wrong that ain't breaking the law, and you can do shit that's right that is breaking the law. So it's not all about what is the law and what is not the law. So if you don't understand that, young fella, you know what I'm saying, just give him some time. You will. At least I hope you will.
The thing about it, Bobby, and we talked about this on J Rob page when he was on there, like that the silver lining turns into a thin line real quick, because even JJ Redick was talking about it, but the thing is JJ Redick talking about it ain't gonna do much, because there's things that we can't do that somebody else of other walks of life that can
Leaf.
do.
If
You know what I'm saying?
Grayson Allen was in a strip club playing with guns, he would be in the same amount of trouble as John Moran. So I don't give a damn. I'm not finna hear that. Like you all right, but this situation isn't that. John, this has nothing to do with race. If Pat Connaughton was driving around where he at, Milwaukee, playing with guns in cars, he would be getting reprimanded as well. This all got nothing to do with John Moran.
100%. Because that's a private. At the end of the day, it's a private company, so you gotta
Exactly.
look at it like that.
And you want to know something too? It's not that he just was riding around waving a pistol. That nigga could have been going to the gun range, like, "Hey y'all, I just bought this gun. Look at my gun safety. Hey, I'm about to go do this."
Right.
This man was
Right.
waving
There's a way you go about
pistol.
it. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
He's waving a pistol, listening to NBA YoungBoy. I've been in these situations. When you listening to this type of music, you are thinking on a whole nother level. You're not thinking, "Oh, I got a gun, I'm going to protect myself." You're talking shit. You like, "Yeah, I'm finna lay it, wop, all this other that you're not finna do," but you're perpetuating it like you're about to, and that's the real problem.
Right. That's 100%. You're not in. All right. So we can't speak on whatever he's into. I don't know what his extracurricular activities. However, your lifestyle, especially at this stage that you at in your lifestyle, in your life, is far removed from being in the streets. So when you purporting that to kids, you got to remember, kids are influenced by a lot of things, and they don't understand the difference between entertainment and real life on certain occasions. So obviously they're gonna pair the music with their favorite basketball player, and they're gonna say, "Oh shit," like, you feel what I'm saying? And it's gonna bleed reality for them. They're not gonna understand what reality is.
John did it.
You feel what I'm saying? Or some stupid, like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's a responsibility that he has no matter what. Like, and remember Charles Barkley said that nonsense, I'm not a role model. Well, you got to remember, a lot of people from, especially from impoverished areas, they don't have that many options in their mind mentally. They don't think that they have a lot of options. The only options in their mind is sports and entertainment. You get what I'm saying? Because they feel like that's the easiest way they can get out of their situation. So what you think they're gonna be looking at? Whoever's in the entertainment or the sports field. That's what they're gonna look for a game plan, or you know what I mean, a road to success, in quote unquote. You get what I'm saying? So you got to be smarter than that, bro. Like this is the most unnecessary crash out I ever seen in my life. Like I never seen somebody crash out like that didn't need to crash out at all. Like this is the craziest like crash dummy shit I ever seen in my life.
Yeah, y'all know it's crazy. The two dudes like with the gun incidents in NBA, they both come from like I don't know if John not from the hood, but they both come from decent backgrounds. It seemed like because
Right.
even Gilbert Arenas,
He come from the valley.
that nigga
He
from the
valley.
burbs.
Yeah, he from the valley.
I feel
Yeah,
like
but
from the burbs.
Gilbert's gun situation was different than this stuff.
Yeah, he did like that was just like, you know what I mean? Like I'm like,
That
that
nigga
was
was
a Vogel
crazy.
move.
I
That was
know
a pure
exactly
Vogel
how
move.
that shit went down, bro. Like he owed some niggas. He did it on some Geno Smith shit, bro. He owes
Yeah.
niggas some money, bro. Like he came to get into the
I
joint.
think
He thought
niggas from the
Javaris Crimson wasn't like that, bro. And then he tried to try him, bro. But yeah, Gil is a goofy for that, bro. Like he got himself in that own shit. The situation, the
It's like
situation, nah,
he
it's
made
not.
the joke go too far. Like that's what it was.
Yeah, that's what it
Boom, hit
was.
him and
It,
right him
like
right back.
Gil is a whole goof for that, bro.
I
Like
be feeling
he
like sometimes people from the burbs be overcompensating. Like I'm from the burbs, but I mean I got my shit, but I don't be overcompensating. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of us from the burbs, we feel like we got to overcompensate to prove
Bruh,
that
you
shit. You know what I'm saying?
Slime, you wanna know what's crazy? It's
I
like
mean, hey, that's Brooklyn too, bro. Like, trust me. Like, listen, it's almost at any and everywhere you go, bro. Trust me. Like, it's not.
Insecurity, it don't matter what area you know what I get what you're
Yeah, it
saying, but
really don't.
insecurity bleeds itself out in any opportunity. You feel what I'm saying? There's a lot of
Absolutely.
insecure people. Yeah, you know what I mean?
nah, you wanna know what's crazy? It's like cause like you don't even want people to know you got your shit on you.
Exactly.
That's the whole reason you got it on you. So that way, when it's time to use it, it's time to go to work or do whatever it is you got to do. You don't want to be brandishing it and not using it. That's the most silliest shit a nigga could do. But this is what we do. This is the cool thing to do. It's so weird.
Fact.
What
You
makes
know
it
what?
worse is it's doing it on IG. Like that's like on social media,
Facts.
on
Facts.
lives. Like
Yeah.
okay, you brandish it like you in the hood, like you know, because you know there's some people they be get excited, they got their first hammer, they showing their homies like yo, you know what I mean? They do some, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like that happens, but you doing that on live, like what are you
Exactly.
what are you thinking about? Like you feel what I'm saying? Like
Basically,
what
you
will possess
basically
you?
live. You basically just like asking, bro. Like a lot of, and so many people get caught slipping on live. It's
Yes.
motherfuckers it's motherfuckers that drop the addy and then it's
Oh my
rappers and that
god.
died all live, bro.
John,
Like,
look,
yo, like,
I'm telling
Facts.
y'all right now.
come on,
I
bro.
said this a couple weeks ago. John lining himself up for a soft extortion,
Lining themselves
Mm,
up.
a soft extortion. You know
Oh
what I'm
no,
saying?
ain't nothing soft about it, Big Ox. They gonna get his ass. I done seen this shit happen many a time.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that soft extortion where like, nah, we partners now. Like,
yeah.
not on
Oh yeah.
not on no shit like, nah, nigga, run me this specific contract.
Nah.
They on some shit like,
And
nah, you with us now, bro. So
and
you
and,
know what I'm
and you
saying?
know what, Bobby, you absolutely right, because if you heard the old boy was on the he was on a podcast and he was one of the Crips. He's like, yo, but like I'm guarantee you, what you want to be doing, playing Crips and Bloods all the rest of your life. That's what you want to do, bro.
Yeah.
Trust me.
That shit happen. That shit
That's
happens to entertainers and athletes every day.
yeah, and that's real shit. And the thing is like is like he was like, yo, if you hang out with me for one day, bro, I guarantee you wouldn't want to do this shit again. And I'm not.
My thing is too when you get older though, and you start experiencing shit, you start seeing money, you start doing shit. You want to experience less. You want to experience different shit. Like you're not trying to really kick it on the block with your partners and shit no more.
Facts.
Especially me. Like for me now, like I'm 32 now, so now I like to do fly shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'd rather be doing this. So my thing is, you want to stay away from certain elements. You want to stay away from certain people that you know aren't really on that same mind path as you are. You know what I'm saying? So you got to put your blinders on and learn. Like, nah, everything you see on the internet ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
like,
Yo, just to think, because remember I was telling y'all maybe a couple of streams ago, like low key, my little cousin, and like seeing how he got fly with the technology and stuff like that. Like he keep like, and Ox, you already know we come from the era like we just always outside. And me personally, Leaf, you know this. I'm a Brooklyn nigga through and through, so I'm always active. I'm always outside. So low key, this shit like it's helping me like stay out of certain. You know what I mean? Like low key, my girl be saying like, yo, I'm happy that you kind of like doing this because like I know that you're not outside like doing some, you know what I mean, like just being in certain crowds and certain situations. You know what I mean?
Hey,
It's the same for me, bro. Like, cause of like I done just listen. It was like it started early for like a lot of us in like inner city areas, because 16, bro. Like I'm like remember I was going to school one day and then the next day I wasn't. It's just how it was, bro. Like, but then I had to get my mind right early, and now that I made somehow, somewhere I done made it to 35. I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, God damn, bro. Like I'm like, niggas is still doing autopilot shit, bro. Like we ain't learning damn, we ain't teach these kids nothing.
Hey, that's the crazy part, because it's like when you make it to a certain age, like for me, I look at these niggas so funny because like my family, they been gang banging when I was a little kid. You feel me? Nigga didn't have a choice. My cousins came up to me like, you gonna be a blood or you gonna be a crip. These are your options. And the put on is inevitable. I look at Chris Brown. This nigga became a blood when he was like 23, 24. That's weird shit to me. Why are you doing that when you a grown ass man making millions of dollars? I look at John Morant. You 23 years old. Now you want to start throwing up sets and doing this weird shit? Nigga, that's weird to me. But you're doing it as a fad. It looks cool. You want to be accepted. But it's like now that I'm 28, it's like
cool. That nigga look like a lick.
Well, without the knowledge that young kids younger than them, it's kids in single digits, man. That don't even have don't even have no choice. They got to get in there. That gang culture shit is real. Like, and the thing is, and the thing is, it's brought to more inner city areas. Obviously, it's birthed in L.A. and the Cali area. But the thing is, when it came to New York, I was only 9 years old when it came like in the late 90s, in the mid to late 90s and everything. So once they came over here, and they was on way more autopilot shit, man. Like at least when it was in Cali, they stood when the cops and all of that shit when it came around, man. Like everybody stood together.
No, it shit is on.
It's
Yes,
out here.
you're right. It's autopilot.
We was out here, it was every man for itself.
My man said autopilot. That's crazy.
Listen,
autopilot, brother. You know what I'm talking about, bro.
No structure. No structure. Like the thing about it is too, because you got to remember, like at least with Cali, there's space. You feel what I'm saying? There's land. You feel what I'm saying? So the politicking could, the area, the landmass could help out the politicking. You feel what I'm saying? Keep everything a little bit structured and all that. You know what I mean? Like y'all could kind of stay in your own little spot. But in New York, everybody's sitting right on top of each other. A block away, I used to, in Coney Island, there's where I used to play ball at. There's two projects that's across the street from each other, and they beef with each other, and they beef with each other
every day.
And
I just came from over there. I'm over in the Flatbush area now. I'm literally like a drive from there, and I do Uber and shit over there. They stay at each other every day, but it's silent now because you don't really see shit going on.
Hey, Leaf, when you be doing your Uber, do you be telling the people that you're driving about your NBA conspiracies?
Sounds like an NBA therapy session.
I'm serious as shit. Like,
you know that nigga do. He be telling them like, "Hey, that nigga man.
Let me show my face.
I be leaving the bills on the damn doorknob.
Jackson, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, man?
Salute, Bob? Jackson. What's up with you,
Jackson?
Hey, I'm just gonna let you guys know right now. I'm nervous as hell. I've been watching you guys for like a very long time, and this is like my first time kind of just like showing my face because I'm autistic, and it's kind of hard for me to try to do all this stuff, but I finally have the courage now because Bob, you're my favorite. You're basically like literally my favorite out of everyone.
Let's go.
And I appreciate you pulling up, Jackson. But You like, if anything, you could be calm up here. You don't gotta be nervous, man. It's all love up here. Matter of fact,
I'm
my
trying.
my daughter's autistic, so you know what I'm saying. I know it's
Yeah,
all,
I got autistic. I got autistic nephews, so like that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's fun, yo. It's funny how like you know what I mean.
Hey, enjoy yourself up here, though, bro.
Yeah,
Yes,
Jackson,
yes,
man,
sir.
Jackson,
Welcome
take a
to the
load
barbecue.
off.
You heard? Welcome to
You
the
in good
barbecue, man. We're
hands.
gonna
Yeah,
pass you some
exactly.
Henny. You heard?
You in good hands up here, man.
Nah,
Niggas
don't do that to
love a
him, man.
Nah,
That shit
basketball.
might
hold on. I came up here because I was hearing about Jaw and everything because I talk about this with my boys all the time on the Xbox, and I have a cousin right now that's kind of going through this right now, and he got himself caught up into some gang stuff or whatever, and killed someone.
Oh shit.
And his mom set him up and everything, and it made me remind me of him. And I have to see him pretty much every week in his cell, and I'm just like, I was telling him because like I was like his only hope, and I was like, bro, if you don't stop doing what you're doing, you're gonna end up pretty much being like everyone, because everyone wants to be gangster now. Everybody does, and I'm just seeing it, and it's just like, bruh.
We got we got to make the right decisions. We got to remember to always love ourselves, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, we do.
We have that mentality of self-destruction. You know what I'm saying? We just got to love ourselves. That's all it is.
And got to keep the family
Yeah.
structure, man, tight knit, man, like at all times.
Yeah,
Like,
every time.
That's the best thing going for like a lot of people, man. Like you got to have that tight society and that close knit society around you, man, with family.
Hold
structure.
on, no, Leaf. Hold on, though, because look, Jackson not finna save you, Leaf. I need answers. I need answers from everybody in the chat too. What? Yes or no? Does Leaf be telling the people in the Uber about his NBA
Hell
conspiracies?
no.
Yes or no?
That's up to Leaf, man. That's up to
Yes,
Leaf.
that
I love
nigga
Leaf.
do.
I love Leaf with all of my heart, dude. I love all of you guys. In context, I love you too, bro.
Yeah,
I love
man.
pretty much everyone here. It's just like it's really hard because like I play my game all the time. Like literally, I have my Xbox on. Like literally, like right now, I'm playing 2K, and like video games has really helped me stay out of trouble. And I've played the game of football for 10 plus years.
Okay.
And I've gotten myself out of that because like I was trying to get away from everything. Like I live in Canton, Ohio, which is like literally the worst place in Ohio, like currently right now. And I have done seen so much in my lifetime, and it's really sad. It's sad to see like my state go to where it's at. And sometimes I think to myself, like, dude, I wish I could make a difference. But, when you're in Ohio, dude, there's a lot of crackheads. There's a lot of fiends. There's a lot of pretty much everyone that's on that wacky tobacco shit. You know what I mean? And you can't really just like help them. They can only help themselves. And,
No, that's real shit, Jace. I mean, honestly, the best thing you can do, man, is kind of stay out of the way, focus on yourself, get yourself together,
Yes, sir.
And just pray for them. Just send them positive energy. Cause I got
Yes,
family
sir.
that's crackheads. You know what I'm saying? I got cousins and
Yes, sir.
shit that was smoking dope, and they still do that shit. And all I could do is pray for them and just wish the best for them. So just make sure whenever you see that shit, you send in positive energy. Cause whether they hear it or not, believe you me, that shit does something.
Yes, sir.
For real.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And I try to say that to pretty much everyone in my family because like I have a lot of family members and all of them are younger and pretty much they all look up to me. And what did it for me was when I was in the hospital, I was like mentally unstable and I wanted to OD because like there was so much stuff that was going on. I was dealing with a lot of like school stuff, family related stuff, and pretty much girlfriend complications and everything. And all of it was hitting me at once while like a lot of my cousins and everything was in gangs and I couldn't save them. And there just wasn't much I could have done. And I was also in a different state because I was living in South Carolina. I was living in Myrtle Beach. And I couldn't do anything. All that I could do was pretty much just like watch everything. And I was like, man, if I was there, none of this would happen.
Well, you know,
But
first don't blame yourself for none of that. You know what I'm saying? You got like Dizzle was saying, you know, just send them well wishes, positive thoughts always. You know, pray for them. But let's refocus a little bit though, y'all. I want context. I need something from you, context. I need you to break down these culture moves in the NBA. I need to know, you know what I'm saying? Because we talked about it a little. Me and Leaf was talking about it a little earlier. As far
I
as the
saw
culture
that
moves,
stuff.
yes. As far as the culture moves, we had obviously we had Ma in Houston, we got Monty in Detroit, we got Frank Vogel in Phoenix, we got what's his name?
Nurse.
Nurse, yeah,
Philly.
Nurse in Philly, and then we got Griffin in Milwaukee.
And
So context,
Monty in Detroit.
yeah, I said Monty. So context, I need from you. I want to know what has been the best hiring for an organization. Also, what has been the best hiring for the coach?
Okay. I'll go with. I'm gonna go with Monty first. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think
Oh,
that
Monty, that was the best move for Monty or the organization.
organization.
Okay.
Oh, that's actually a good question. I think probably you can say both, in my opinion. Just because I think that dealing with the development of Devin Booker, but then adding on CP3 and the pressures that came with the Suns organization, and then them kind of flaming out because of the lack of depth, and then on top of that with the CBA, how they're going to retool. I think it's going to put a lot of stress that I don't know if he necessarily wanted to deal with at that time. So I think he gets a fresh start. With you're still gonna have talent. But you're getting young talent that you can kind of mold and and nurture. It's less expectations, so you kind of be in that role that I think that Monty Williams does well at, which is nurturing and teaching. I think he does a real good job in shaping and molding certain guys as far as basketball players. So I think that both of them, I think that's the best move. Now for the only organization alone, I think the Udoka hire is good for the organization, but not good for Udoka. Obviously, getting a job for Udoka is good, but I think it benefits the organization more than it benefits the coach. If you get what I mean.
Okay. I can see that. Slime, you got an answer for which coaching hire was the best, like as far as coach wise and organization wise?
I think the team that's gonna take the biggest leap because of the coaching probably gonna be the Rockets.
Okay.
Because they got the number 4 pick. Like out of this whole list, I mean, it was only one season, but I was mostly impressed with Ime Udoka. Like to me, he's the best coach on this list, even though it was 1 year. So
Yeah.
I guess he haven't been a coach long enough to like mess up and stuff. But I don't know the other moves. I don't see him like as huge. Like what's the word? Like huge shifters, I guess. Like maybe Nick Nurse on the Sixers to give him more of a defensive identity, but I don't know. I don't see none of these coaching moves like really shaking stuff up. And then
Appreciate you, Donovan. Good looking,
and then
fam.
I'm a Lakers fan, but I rock with Giannis. So I really want to see what Adrian Griffin got to bring to the table. Bucks, I root for them.
Okay.
So but yeah, I think Ime Udoka was the best. I think they gonna take the biggest leap due to coaching. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that one.
So Houston made the best move for the organization. And
Yeah.
what did you said Nick Nurse probably the best for the no who
You talking about
who yeah, which coach is in the best situation there?
I'm gonna say Frank Vogel just because I mean the way the Lakers did him, it's good to see him back in the league.
Yeah, I think he was definitely a scapegoat for the Lakers.
Yeah. I think he benefited the most. I don't know how the Suns roster gonna look, but I'm just as a Lakers fan, I'm just glad to see him back in the league because like you said, he ain't deserve that. Like him and Russ was a scapegoat to that 2021 to 2022 season.
Yeah.
So I mean, but Darvin Ham been doing solid too, so I ain't too mad. But yeah.
But Dizzle, what do you think as far as with these culture moves?
Shit, man. I really think, as far as the organization, I think that the Ume is probably the best one. But like old boy said, he hasn't had a lot of time to really mess up. But I think he's a player's coach because you see how much the players responded to him. You feel me? Like Jalen Brown, Robert Williams. You see how those guys like they responded to him. They really was fucking with him. So I feel like he could possibly get the same thing out of the Houston Rockets. And I mean, even for his own career, if he managed to pull off something like a damn, what's my boy name for the coach for Sacktown Ox?
Mike Brown.
If he could do something like a Mike Brown, even when Mike Brown was back in '07 and he managed to get to the finals, he had LeBron. You know, most people want to contribute that to LeBron, but I still feel like the coach still has some input and still has something to do with the success of the team. So I feel like it's good for both parties, in my personal opinion. And also, I want to say I'm happy to see that these coaches are getting paid. I seen Monty got a crazy, crazy bag, and I think that's going to be good for the NBA overall because now we ain't gonna be seeing these coaches just get expended. Like, oh, you got a problem with the main player, oh, you gotta go, or you don't like with somebody, you gotta go. Now these coaches are worth their weight. They actually getting paid, so I feel like they're gonna have more of a say so on the team. It's not gonna be such a player driven league. It's still gonna be player driven, but I feel like the coaches are gonna have a little more say so in more situations, and I think it's good for everybody.
And yeah, and the piggyback on that, Desiree, you mentioned Mike Brown. I think when those type of coaches, him, Monty, and whatchamacallit,
Ume,
they in situations where they could help you, where they could turn these, get some of these young players, some of these young men, get them right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think what Mike Brown did, first unanimous coach of the year, by the way. Salute to the beam, man. By the way,
salute to that.
yeah. Salute to the beam, by the way, man. Oh, come on, throw it up, Bobby. Don't get all crazy, man. Salute to the beam, man.
Now go. You know, I'm gonna say
yeah, but
I'm humble again. Once again.
Yeah, of course, but I think with the positions that Monty and Ime are in right now in terms of helping some of these young players, these young players. I'm talking about young. They probably ain't even old enough to drink type players, man. Like they young 20, 19 or whatever, like 20 something year old players come into prominence and get them right and get them to, listen and get them to get them, because a lot of them ain't go to like 4 years of college. They don't know what zones. They don't know how to break down zone defenses and all these other defenses and traps and all of that stuff like that. So the thing is,
let me get Sebastian and Jackson answer on these questions too, real quick before you go too deep into that though. Let me make sure everybody got they take off for the coach situation. Sebastian, what do you think is the best move as far as the organization for their hire? Which coach you think pushes the organization further, and also which coach do you think is in the best situation for themselves?
I'd say it's got to be Detroit. Personally, I think Monty Williams is one of the best coaches in the NBA. And you got like a really young team with Detroit. They have some pretty good pieces, but they had a bad year. I think they could probably, I don't know, maybe just finish right outside the play-in, but I like Detroit.
Okay, and what about and so that's the best move for when his organization was getting Monty Williams. Do you also feel like that was the best move for Monty Williams, or do you think another coach is in a better situation?
I was kind of disappointed that I saw Monty go to Detroit. It's probably mostly for the franchise. I wanted Monty to go to like a playoff team, but yeah, I think it's just for Detroit. Well, I mean, kind of helps Monty a little bit, but mostly the franchise.
Okay, so which one of these coaches is in the best situation?
I'm gonna say Frank Vogel.
Okay, why?
You still get Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. I mean, those two are nuclear. You just got to get good pieces around them.
Right.
Hey, Sebastian.
Yo.
Real quick, before you get too deep, man, what's to talk about the Bob Myers? What's your feelings on the Bob Myers situation?
Oh, that's brutal. I loved him. He's I don't know how we're gonna do now without him, but I mean, we still got Steph and good players, but
do you think this is the end of the Golden State Warriors as we know it, or like what's the
Leave. We should make that a topic. Hold on. Let Jackson get off. Yeah, leave you alone.
Oh, I'm
But
all right.
say,
My bad. I'm out here giving
Nah,
topics
because
for
that's
other
actually
people.
at
no.
least,
Leave.
at
I
least,
said
Like that.
no.
hold
Leave.
on,
I think
hold
it's
on.
a great topic. That's I actually want to break that down. So that's
Hey,
what I
Leaf, let
mean.
me do my fucking job, Leaf.
Poppy, I'm letting you do your fucking job. You running the 24-hour stream, nigga.
That's a great
Shit,
one-liner.
you gonna
Let me
need
do my
help.
fucking
Goddamn it. That's what I'm
job.
trying to do.
But
We need help.
this ain't the 24-hour stream yet. When that come around, though, Leaf, I'm definitely gonna need you to hold me down, though.
Yeah. I got you for some hours. Then I'm gonna take my monkey ass to sleep.
Well, shit,
You're wildin', Leaf.
but Leaf, when you wake up, I'm still gonna be at it. So, feel me?
Definitely, definitely, yeah. But
Hey,
all right,
but
Jackson.
who do you got? Who do you think was the best coaching move for an organization? These new coaches.
I am very surprised that none of you guys said Nick Nurse, because we're talking about a head coach in Nick Nurse that was a champion coach that took a Toronto Raptors team that like literally that nobody thought that Toronto was going to win the championship. And I'm like a diehard Raptors fan and a Cavs fan, and I did not think that they were going to make it to the finals. But given the fact that, you know, during that Warriors series, everybody was getting injured one by one, and I pretty much saw all of it. And I'm not going to lie, I kind of cheered for the injuries just for the fact that, you know, for my Cavs' sake, you know, with that super team stuff that LeBron was going through. But that's beside the point. But I think it's Nick Nurse because he's going to be a much more better leader and a much more better catalyst to drive that force that Giannis needs, that Middleton needs, and Connigan, and like maybe even like, you know, polish Grayson Allen's attitude or whatever in the world his menacing societies is.
Nick Nurse went to Philly.
Oh, Nick Nurse went to Philly?
Yeah, Nick Nurse went to Philly. Adrian Griffin got the Milwaukee job.
Oh, well, then I'm an idiot then. I'm sorry. I haven't even been paying attention then. I was about to ask on the rundown, but if that's the case, then yeah, I would say Nick Nurse then for Philly, because then now let me think here, because since now Nick Nurse is in Philly, I think it's not bad, because I mean Doc Rivers has blown so many game sevens, and I don't think Doc Rivers is going to coach again. I just don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, what do you think was the best move for a coach like MA being able to kind of you know, bounce back from his situation in Boston, or do you think Frank Vogel, you know what I'm saying, with
if it's between those guys,
yeah.
If it's between those guys, I would have to go with Frank Vogel, because Vogel did a fantastic job with, you know, coaching LeBron and AD during, you know, that bubble year.
Yeah.
But kind of like not really. It's kind of hard for me because, like, you know, I'm not a Lakers fan. I'm a LeBron fan.
Yeah.
And I seen pretty much what was going on with all of that. And it was just looking like a shit show right after the bubble year. It just looked like it. Because, like, obviously, when you have Russ on your team, you're going to lack so many deficiencies. Because, like, he's so ball dominant, and he always wants the ball. But I can't attack Russ too much because all that he can do is what he can do.
Facts.
Like, if he would have developed the three ball, then he would have been a lot more deadlier as a point guard. And he would have at least been able to not have so many blooper reels on YouTube that, you know, I see a lot. But, you know, I still think that Frank Vogel I think he's going to do great in what was it, Phoenix?
Yeah, Phoenix. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to, you know, do whatever he can with KD and Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton,
Yeah.
and pretty much all of those guys.
I think Frank Vogel's definitely in a great position with that talent. But
Oh yeah.
I was gonna
Leaf,
say
go.
something.
I'll go ahead. And then after that, Leaf, you go ahead and get back in there about Myers, though, Leaf. But go ahead, son.
I was gonna say with Frank Vogel. Another thing, I mean, he might be able to unlock DeAndre Ayton. I don't know, not unlock him, but do him better. Because I don't know if it was a
DeAndre's gone, bro.
He's a
Monty
lost
Williams
cause.
issue
DeAndre
or
Ayton's a lost cause.
Like I think it was on the court issue or a coaching issue. Because I think Monty Williams, like he wasn't. I don't know. I didn't watch him close enough to know if it was a coaching issue or D-Book and Katie was freezing him out on the court.
That's
both. It was before KD even got there though.
He
wanted the ball.
Yeah.
I think that's one of those situations where Monty was just kind of got tired of it, like bro, like you know. So I think he was tired of DeAndre, and I think DeAndre was tired of him. I think it went both ways. I think it was definitely.
That's what money does to someone.
Well, and that's why, especially with that's why I said I think Monty, being that he's gonna have some young guys that he could just like, you know what I mean? Like obviously he's gonna be the proven coach. He's gonna be, you know, he has a track record, and he's got none of those kids have a track record. None of those kids have talent.
But context, with all due respect to Monty, what has he proven?
Exactly.
Not a goddamn thing.
No,
not
it's
even
not. So meaning by
a
track
finals
record,
loss to prove for it.
No. But we can't associate. That's the thing, though, Ox. We can't. Let's not be like so black and white with it. It's about development, right? It's about instilling because he helped develop the Suns, right? The Suns was piss poor, and Devin Booker's play style, his playmaking improved under Monty Williams. I'm not accrediting his improvement as a player to only Monty Williams, but I'm saying that his style of thing helped bring the culture to the Suns. You know what I mean?
I would say this context. I would go as far to say that it wasn't Monty Williams that helped Devin Booker and DeAndre. It was Chris Paul. So I agree with that. I agree with that as well too. But you got to remember, Monty and Chris Paul have they don't. It's not like they speak different languages. They speak the same language. Chris Paul just is Monty Williams on the floor. You get what I'm saying? So yeah. So I think that Chris Paul actually just reinforced that the coaching philosophy on the floor. I think Monty just needed someone to do that on the floor. And I think Chris Paul was the perfect, kind of instrument to do so. Now, hear me out. I understand what you're saying. Like he doesn't have a proven track record. However, he shows that he has the ability to coach. He has the ability to help improve those guys. So those guys, being that they're young, I think they see the success of how he was because he has had success. It's not like he's been a failure at the coach's position. You get what I'm saying? So, and his name is a known name. It's not like he's just like it's not like Taylor Jenkins and stuff like that. It's not like these newer coaches where they don't really have name cachet. Monty Williams has name cachet. You feel what I'm saying? So the younger guys can attribute it to that, and they're gonna be a little bit more attentive to what he has to say because he's been to the finals, because he's, you know what I mean? He's worked with Chris Paul, KD, DeAndre Ayton. And DeAndre Ayton, we've seen it. He had issues with being coached hard a certain way. Like his perception of himself might be different from the way that his teammates see him. And there's certain simple things that he wasn't doing on the floor that they started shunning him out for it because defensively he would be lazy. They would tell him, yo, keep your hands up, stop swiping down. He will swipe down and get a foul. You get what I'm saying? And you could hear it on the court. Like you could see the body language, but not only the coach, but it reverberates through Chris Paul, who's the coach on the floor, through your best player with Devin Booker, your second best player, well, KD, however anybody, your first and second best player. It doesn't matter how you guys look at it, but you could see it. And I agree with you, Ox. I think Ayton is out of here because Frank Vogel, he's going to hold him to the fire the same way that he tried to hold Roy Hibbert to the fire. You get what I'm saying? So I think Ayton is not going to rock with Vogel. Not at all.
Roy Hibbert.
Not at all.
Roy Hibbert of all people.
Roy
You about to say Ian Mahimi now?
Roy Hibbert.
Ian Mahimi used to get minutes because Roy Hibbert wasn't contributing.
Why? Because he was 7'2", 285.
Roy Hibbert had a couple of really good seasons.
He had his best years with Frank Vogel.
He did, but
really good season.
But Ox, you know why? Why? Because Vogel would take him out when he was doing piss poor on defense, and what he would do, bring in Mahimi, because Mahimi would bring in more energy,
Or
more,
even Al Jefferson.
So the thing about it is you challenge players by not holding them. Okay, I don't care what you are. Okay, you the starting center, but if I see you not doing your job, what you need to do defensively, you're out of there, buddy. And that's exactly what used to happen to Roy Hibbert, and that's what used to happen to that's what happened to Ayton. So I think Wiseman, you better realize what's going on, my boy. Especially over there, like Wiseman, he's gonna have to tighten up because I think Monty's gonna be like that. I think he's gonna see Jalen Duren, and he's gonna be like, "Yo, if he has the defensive, intensity that I need, you're out of there, Wiseman."
I think
Jalen.
Wiseman is on thin ice. I ain't gonna
Well,
lie
that's the thing though.
It's looking like it.
Jalen Duren, however you say the young fella's name, I like him a lot, bro. I like him a whole lot. So
Baby Dwight.
I'm already thinking about it. Like if I'm thinking about what's his name, Killian Hayes, James Wiseman, cats like that. What vets can we get in the locker room for these guys? Where can I send these guys to give me some vets in the locker room?
That's exactly what I was thinking, Bobby. And the thing is,
someone like Udonis Haslam.
No. Well, I'm going. Hold up. I'm gonna go further with that. The thing is, right now he got to do something, make something shake with the roster currently, because right now most of the cats on the team is under rookie contracts and shit, so they can't really move. So here's the thing. You got to find out which two guys is going to be the leading force for you, and I'm leaning on Ivy and Durant. Because they both out there.
Not Cade Cunningham?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Fuck Cade.
Yeah, I was just about to say too. Not Cade Cunningham?
It's like
Hell
that?
No.
All right.
Straight like that. Yeah, that's straight out of my mouth. Fuck.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Leave. What the? Yo, relax.
That's crazy.
What's
going on with Cade Cunningham?
Real quick, I can understand you not being as high on Cade as everybody else, because I'm not as high on Cade as everybody else. But fuck him, though.
That's crazy. That is wild. That is absolutely blasphemous. In the words of Stephen A. Smith, that is blasphemous.
I might have maxed, man. Listen, but y'all got me up late, man.
Now speak your mind, brother. Speak your mind.
Yeah.
But I'm Ivy. I think Ivy and Durant is I think that could be like the 1-2 punch for this team going forward, because they got a little bit more energy. I seen them this past season. I watched a little bit of them this past season, and when they get out on that court, man, they making their minutes count. Jalen Durant is the white in disguise, bro. I swear to God, he is.
Yeah, for sure. He definitely got a little the white to him.
Yes, he got a serious motor. He got a serious motor. He gonna get after it on the boards, man, and he gonna rip shit down, man. If he first chance he get, Royal Ivy, bro, he could get to I don't know too much about his perimeter game, but he could definitely get to that second and third level when he drives and get into the teeth of the defense. That's
I Leaf, before you get to because I know you want to get to the Bob Myers shit.
God damn it.
Oh, my fault. I thought you was about to rap. I thought you was wrapping it up. Go ahead, Leaf. My bad.
Nah, but he was getting into the teeth of the defense. But Monty, and I think that's something that Monty could work with, because Monty like high energy guys. He like guys that's gonna go out there and go get it. You know what I'm saying? He don't like no lazy bigs. He just came up off that with Ayton and Wiseman. I don't think he's gonna be accustomed. I don't think Wiseman got half of the energy that Durant has on that team. I think he on thin ice. But I do think that Monty is going to have to make something shake with this roster to get some to get some of these guys trade value up, and to see how they can make moves, little moves here and there for like a couple of guys that's a little older.
Do you know who the GM is over there?
No. No. Yes, I do. Dwayne Casey. I think. It's either Dwayne Casey or Ben Wallace. I don't remember.
Well, it ain't Ben Wallace. I would know if it's Ben Wallace.
Nah. Ben Wallace is somewhere in that office. He's somewhere in that front office. I don't know if he's he's running everything, but it's either Dwayne Casey or
shit, Leaf. I gotta cut you off now because my man Devon Samuels just dropped his super chat. You know, super chat's whole priority, brother. And he actually talking about the John Morant situation. If we want to double back to that, Donovan Samuel says, speaking of Taylor Jenkins, do you hold him somewhat responsible for John Morant's issues? Do you think if John Morant had a different coach, his behaviors would have been different? Leaf, I want you to answer this first, man.
Man, that's actually a good ass question. But in the case of Taylor Jenkins, no, not in this case. But I do think had he had like a different coach, like I think back into the Memphis era. Who was that coach? They had Lionel Hollins. I think it was it Lionel Hollins that they have during the grit and grind era when they had Tony Allen in them. Like he was the true identity of them because a lot of those guys, man, like they helped serve and they handled their business on the court. You ain't hear nothing about it until Zach went out to Sacramento and did some bullshit.
Speaking of, what happened to what's his name? That was it David shit. Light skinned brother, I think he bald headed.
Buddy from Miami.
Now he was coaching the Grizzlies last time.
Oh yeah,
David Fizdale.
David Fizdale. What the hell is David Fizdale?
Oh, he was in and out. Shit. He was in one day, and then he went on a rant after a playoff game, and that was it. Yeah, that was the last time I heard of him.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna get to you. I'm gonna get to you next. I want all y'all to answer this question. But Juan, I want you to welcome up to the panel, Juan. Can I get you to answer this question real quick? Do you hold Taylor Jenkins somewhat responsible for Ja's issues? And do you think if he had a different coach, maybe this wouldn't be a thing?
Like a tiny part of me does, but then it's like a big part to where it's like, Ja, you a grown ass man. Shouldn't no other man have to be babysitting you to make sure you not, doing reckless things like this? Like I would see if it was other stuff like mental problems or, bro, you flashing around guns, bro. That shouldn't be on the coach's job. Yeah, the coach should talk to him and be like, hey, you should probably calm down. But that shouldn't be the coach's job to watch what Ja Morant every move is. I feel like, but I feel like a different coach would. I think a black coach would. Just based off of that simple. It's certain things Taylor Jenkins can't tell, Ja that a black man can. That's all. If he was to get another coach, that would be the only really difference I would see that'll make. But I don't think Taylor Jenkins should be responsible for Ja Morant's every move. He got 14 other players he got to worry about.
Facts. Which I'm pretty sure you kind of got a similar sentiment, Dizzle. But you want to tap into this?
Yeah, no, that's crazy. The same thing he just said. I agree to everything he just said, bro. That's exactly how I feel about it. You feel me? You an adult. Definitely, if another coach was in there, that definitely could make a difference. But shit, man, it's not his job. They pay him for a reason. On his check, it got a description of, what's the name of his job is to coach, to get everybody ready. He can't just be focusing on one dude. And I feel like, especially as an adult, man, you should be on your P's and Q's. You know what this is. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. How many people in the NBA? What? So many hundred? It's 8 billion people.
It's like 450, 460.
450? It's 8 billion people walking this planet? Like, come on, fool. Just be responsible.
So is it safe to say? I'll just ask it broad so we don't got to go person by person. Is there anybody up here that would somewhat hold Taylor Jenkins responsible for this?
Nah, I wouldn't hold him responsible for it, but I understand because here's the thing about it is too, like there is kind of partial, because you got to remember, like as a head coach, it encompasses everything. I get what you guys are saying, like he has to be responsible for the team, but that's the team's best player, and from an emotional standpoint, that's their emotional leader. So you have to kind of nurture that in that way, and you want to kind of groom that in the same way that you guys want to be on the same page. You can't have the assailants running the asylum, so to say. And what it looked like the Grizzlies was running themselves, and the coach was just there for the ride. I'm gonna keep it a band with you.
Facts.
Taylor Jenkins doesn't even look like he's a basketball coach. No disrespect. He looks like a strength and training coach. I'm not even gonna hold you.
He really
should be working for a school.
He probably look like a middle
Like a
school soccer
PE
like a
coach.
teacher.
coordinator.
Yeah,
PE
like
teacher,
like
man.
a
Snap.
like yeah, for real,
Funny.
like a PE
That's
teacher, like a
funny.
middle school soccer
OD,
coach type dude. For real.
OD. Salute, Leaf.
He
Salute,
like a
Leaf.
linebacker coach.
Yo, and I'm gonna
What's
keep.
up? What's
Oh, what's
up?
good,
Like
What's
a
Leaf?
up,
damn
Desto?
coordinator.
What's the word,
What
brother?
That's
up,
a
fellas?
Salute.
But I see what you're saying,
I got
context. But like, don't you think they should have like an assistant like that? For example, like Mo Cheeks, how he
They do
was
that
for
in the
Russ and
NFL, don't
Katie.
they?
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree 100%. But at the same token, it's kind of like look at Mike Malone. Look how he was involved with Jamal Murray. Like Jamal Murray was going through an emotional thing after he got injured. You feel what I'm saying? And he asked him like, "Yo, am I gonna get traded?" And Mike Malone reassured him, and like he kept them in line, like kept them in the loop, kept while everything was going, and give him that confidence. You feel what I'm saying? So not all head coaches have to be like, oh, just like cover the team and just only worry about the team. You can take that extra step and you know what I mean, and develop relationships and be, you know, emotionally invested into your best players. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, to be invested into like the third team guy, all right, maybe you pushing it, but this is job we talk about. We're not talking about like, you know what I mean, like, you know what I mean, Kenny Lofton from that's like a two-way contract. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, hey Leaf, you trying to tap into that Bob Myers talk?
Yeah. Yeah, Sebastian. I wanted to ask Sebastian more about the Bob Myers thing. Obviously he said it was a big blow, but do you think that's the end of the Golden State Warriors as we know?
I think they're going to continue making the playoffs, but when it comes to being a championship caliber team, I don't think so. No.
All of this because of the loss of Bob Myers. Just so we're being
Yeah.
So wait. Who's the predecessor? Who's still taking his place?
I believe it's Lacob's son.
Who the hell is that?
That's the owner's son, Joe Lacob.
Oh yeah. Might be in the shit for another.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Everybody that used to be at Arco Arena banging the cowbells.
Y'all about to go back to the Gilbert Arena
that
shit.
jumped over there. They finna come back to being Sacramento Kings fans because it's over for them.
What?
They were Lakers fans too. A lot of
I will say, bro.
Some of them
like
was
Golden,
sure.
yeah, the Warriors did. Their fan base wasn't like terrible, especially in Oakland, bro. Like their fan base was like out there when they was in the shit in Oracle, man. Like in them after the We Believe days. Until they got Curry in the early years, man, and Curry had ankle problems, but yeah, they were still devoted to them games. But
belief that was an Oakland crowd. This new San Francisco crowd, they not real Warriors fans. Like a lot of these cats came from all over the country, moved out there on some Silicon Valley tech industry type shit. A lot of them were from down there in LA. So a lot of Sacramento Kings fans that got tired of us being a poverty franchise, jump ship. As soon as Klay Thompson and Steph start hitting their threes like that, a lot of these cats are not real Warriors fans, and they're all gonna go back home in a couple of years.
So that means the Warriors. So that means the Warriors, that means the San Francisco crowd ain't as devoted as the Oakland crowd. That's basically
right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Oakland crowd, those are real Warriors fans. The San Francisco crowd. They was the ones that's like, I'm not crossing the bridge. I'm not going to Oracle. I'm not going to Oakland. You know.
Oh yeah. San
you gone to
Oakland is divided like a mug. Like, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, have you been to San Fran, Ox?
Have I been to San Francisco?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I'm from Sacramento, bro.
It's like a 10-minute drive, I think, from Oakland and San Francisco.
It's just right. It's right over the bridge.
Yeah,
they're not crossing the Bay Bridge to go to Oakland. They're not going to Oakland.
Why not?
Cross that bridge. They like, welcome to Oakland, bitch.
But I feel like
this is a different crowd. This is a whole different bougie crowd, like tech people, you know.
That ain't Oakland. That ain't Oakland.
That ain't Oakland. Oakland like Brooklyn, bro. Like they
did,
like that's serious.
That's
bro.
crazy.
Oakland like
Oakland's
Brooklyn
crazy.
Like, it's a lot like an East Coast city on the West Coast, bro. Realistically.
Shit, I heard San Francisco dirty as fuck right now.
It is.
So
I went in 2014.
Filled with homeless people.
Homelessness.
Hey,
Sebastian, you talking about 2014? That's not. They don't even look the same no more. Like,
really? It's worse.
Yeah, but it's not like none of these cities on the West Coast or anything like that was in the 2000.
So Sebastian, What's the
Yeah.
move on the rest of the, because I don't really see Steph leaving, but like everybody else, what's the move on like everybody else? Do you see like Clay, Draymond, Poole going other
Yeah.
places, man? Like
Get Jordan Poole out of Golden State and keep Draymond and Clay.
Pack them up. Pack them up.
pack
That's
them all up.
crazy.
So you just leaving
Whoa.
Steph out there to dry and melt on his own, right?
Whoa.
Dry
You
cry.
No,
get,
Sorry,
just
bro.
Jordan Poole. Just Jordan Poole. Everyone else can keep them.
Damn, you gonna keep
But
Draymond?
Clay gonna want money.
that's
Clay
crazy.
gonna want some. He gonna want some dollars.
Clay got to retire in
If
Golden State. Clay got to retire in
Draymond's
Golden
going to the Lakers.
I think Clay gonna. Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Draymond going to the Lakers.
Draymond
Clutch
gonna go to the Lakers
sports.
1 year. He gonna get a
Draymond not turning down that extension.
He sure not.
He picking up that extension for all.
Yeah, y'all crazy.
Yeah, he sure not. He gonna
Jordan
pick up
Poole.
that extension and ask for a trade. Watch.
Jordan Poole, I'm shopping you, my boy. I'm shopping you.
Yeah, Poole gotta go.
He had one faulty. Y'all
Jesus.
stall him out.
That's crazy.
Because my thing is this. I was trying to tell Ron last year, but Jordan
I was
Poole
gonna
is
give him the benefit of the
It's not
doubt.
it. Not it, Ox. He's not it.
Everything. Hey, what's done in the dark will come to light. You know what I'm saying? Like
That nigga, but right now he's on autopilot, bro. Like,
Okay, wait.
You can't be an imposter for 3 seasons, bro. Like eventually
That's what I was about to ask you.
Exactly.
That's what don't get been an imposter.
Wait, so y'all saying the championship season was faulty? That was
No.
You know how you start strong and then like you really just can't believe it. He couldn't even believe it. He was like, damn, I'm really. He was like, damn,
I'm really nice.
Like, nah, you're not nice.
Yeah, he was telling Andrew Wiggins, you get the bag, not I get the bag.
That's insane.
And
You
we get
basically
the
saying he
bag.
just had the Lord by his side that whole playoff run, huh?
Look, so this is my thing. I can only attribute it
with a gravity ball
to things I've been through. And so I've obviously never experienced it at this level at all. So I'll just talk about high school ball. When I first got into at Sac High, when we first get into that varsity program, my coach is always like, y'all got to put the work in. Y'all got to be on this track during the summertime. Y'all got to be running these stadiums during the weekend. Y'all got to put in the work because y'all not finna come here and ride the coattails of all these legendary teams I've had before you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Jordan Poole wanted to do. Jordan Poole wanted to come in and ride the coattail of what Kevin Durant and them dudes did, what Andre Iguodala and those squads did. Obviously, the main 3 for all those. He was excited. Of course, Clay, Steph, Draymond, they were celebrating after they won their championship, but they all like, yo, we done this before. We need to regroup and get ready for what they got to do. Obviously, Clay getting drunk on the boat,
right?
but he's put in the work and earned the right to do that. So that's what I'm saying. Like you could look on Jordan Poole's face. He had that kid in the candy store shop. You know what I'm saying? Like that kid in the candy shop. Look,
I don't think Clay liked Jordan Poole at all, bro. I
don't think any of them like Jordan Poole. They like, man, get this out of here.
None of them? God damn.
You remember you can see it all funny games until you ain't winning championships.
Fellas, you know them little arrogant motherfuckers that be around you, and you just be like, man, somebody get this on nigga away from me.
He do look like an arrogant.
The same niggas that help you win your championship, bro. You can't turn your back on them now.
Right. So the thing about it is, like, and obviously, you joke when you around your boys and stuff like that. You may say some jokes that you be talk beside yourself. But I heard he was talking greasy to Clay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
context saying greasy? That's like my term.
A lot of motherfuckers like.
I used to say that all the time.
Hey, Klay Thompson really wanted him though. Right, like y'all gotta realize Klay Thompson really wanted them. Like facts. Off the court, whatever, he might not be no hard ass nigga or nothing, but on that court though, Klay Thompson is a dog. Like, I've experienced it firsthand. 17 years old, like, nah, this motherfucker really different. We need to leave him the fuck alone. You know what I'm saying? Klay Thompson, Klay Thompson, that you He don't got
I
no
been
right
knew
to be
Klay
talking
Thompson was that
crazy
guy.
to Klay
Talking
Thompson.
crazy to me, not at all. Not
Klay
at
Thompson tore his ACL, went in the tunnel, jumped up and down, went in there, shot his
2
free
free
throws.
throws.
His pops damn near had to come on the court and get him. Like, bro, come sit your ass down. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. When I seen that shit, obviously I wanted Toronto to win. But when I seen Klay really showing that, I'm like, God, this motherfucker really.
It's a dog.
I ain't gonna. Klay.
You know how they be trying to put who was it? They put Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, and Devin Booker. They always be trying to say, oh, they got that Mamba mentality. Klay Thompson got that Mamba mentality.
Factual.
No, that's real shit. That's real shit.
I think
this little bastard want to disrespect Klay Thompson.
And that's why Dre went in it. That's why Jay went in his.
Klay Thompson
boy.
Nah, Dre went in his shit because he said some crazy shit. He told
Klay
that nigga
Thompson's
he ain't got
not
no
give a
chips.
fuck style of shooting, bro. Like, it's just crazy to me, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like, I think he probably the only player I could think of, bro, that had 2 major injuries that could have been life enders in the early 2000s and coming back out and still looking like, yo, I could give any of you niggas 50 at any given moment.
That nigga dropped 60 on like 4.5 dribbles.
13
I ain't gonna lie.
11 dribbles.
I ain't gonna lie, Ox. Your boys Mars and Low, but they be disrespecting Klay, but saying Draymond is more valuable.
Man, this
Wait, what?
This ain't open court or open gym, whatever. You know, I'm not.
All right. I'm glad we on the same page.
Oh, matter of fact, no, it's Saturday. I don't got to deal with that shit till Monday.
Exactly. Bobby know I got a riff with somebody that he praised a lot, but I ain't gonna do it up in here, man.
Yeah, I almost had to leave the damn show the other day. I couldn't deal with that shit.
Yeah, really? Like, he know I got a riff with somebody that he praised a lot.
Nah, really, Sebastian, for real, because I don't get on the panel to cook. You know what I'm saying? I'm up here so we can talk about some basketball, bro.
Yeah,
that's a fact. I don't always want to do that corny ass shit, bro.
That's too much drama. Yeah, it's a lot of drama for no reason.
Yeah, but
why I love you,
Ox. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, what is this general? You know what I'm saying? We got to be like, fuck that. I got kids to play with, you know.
Even on the Chill show, bro, like I get up there to listen to bottom line shit, bro. Like, because sometimes, like, Chill is a basketball historian, but sometimes he hard head. He don't
Chill be saying
bro.
some crazy shit.
Nah, he hard head, bro. I tried to tell him yesterday.
I
bro,
love Chilltown.
The Miami Heat is gonna get their ass kicked. But
everybody in the chat, Chill with Chill coming on in 8 hours and 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So we start 30 minutes early on Saturday morning. So
that means you gotta take your big ass to sleep. Come on, man.
Hey, that's 8.5 hours. I don't need 8.5 hours. See,
24 hours.
Leaf, you letting yourself get old, Leaf.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Stay young, brother. Stay young.
2 hours minimum, Leaf. That's all you need. Cap naps. Bang, bang. Close your eyes, cap your eyes, and you good.
Hold up. Wait. Text. Hold up. You can't co-sign that shit, bro. We from, you know where we from, goddamn it, bro. Like,
Leaf? I'm speaking from experience. You know what?
Yeah, that's that toxic ass air y'all breathing in. That shit slowing y'all down. Y'all breathing in.
Ox. No. I don't know what Leaf on. Leaf is living in a way. I don't know what's going on with Leaf. I only take 2 hour naps minimum. Ain't no sleeping.
2 hour naps minimum.
I blink my eyes, and you already listen, Leaf. You know what time I gotta clock it for the shift, for the overnight shifts. You know what's going on.
This
nigga, I already see what's going on. I already see what's going on.
Air with a cigar in your mouth. It's crazy.
Keep it in the dark, though, D. What's the word?
Yeah, man. What's going on with y'all?
What's the word?
Salute.
D, what's going on? Your lights went out? What the fuck?
I lit up. I sparked something up. I'm trying to protect Bob Channel. You know what I'm saying? He just got blessed and all that. You know
that's why I gotta smoke cigars on the graveyard shift now. Can't even. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, no, Bob.
No, I guess shit. I got me a little mild. You know.
D tapping the coach.
I got me a little bit of this. So I mean,
you read your mic keeps having staticky though.
Yeah, my shit been fucked up all day. I'm gonna tap back in.
All right, for sure.
Hey Bob, you
Yo, D,
saying
just oh,
breathing in
oh,
toxic air while holding a cigar is crazy. Just wanted to let
I
you
Exactly.
just
know that.
this is good. It's a good natural.
And ain't
Not
no
you know.
damn
And
Cuban. It ain't no
also,
goddamn Cuban, Bobby.
I leave. You
That
don't know
Tony
what.
Montana.
You know, I just came from down from Mexico. You know, I got some people down there. I'll be bringing my shit back.
that's a
Yeah,
fact.
this
That's
is
that's hand rolled, my
Moving
boy.
it
That's
back.
hand rolled.
Listen, I came down from
Obviously,
Mexico.
I can't. Obviously, I ain't gonna shout out no brands or nothing like that because they ain't paying me. But you know what I'm saying? This shit
That's
right
right.
here,
That's right.
you need one of these, Lee.
I want to
See,
actually.
Bobby.
I want to
See, that's
hold on. Oh, go
that's
ahead.
them suit wearing niggas, man. Like, see, y'all think y'all slick, man.
Cigar bar. That's a cigar
Cigar
bar
bar
ox right
head ass nigga. I'm like, nigga, I ain't going to no damn cigar lounge. I don't smoke.
there. Yo, listen, man. That's where a lot of business happen. Neve, especially in New York. That's where a lot of
I ain't
business
my,
happen, my boy.
yeah, it is a lot of business
And
happening, but they
we be up in
you know,
Seattle.
we got a name for them out here where we from. But we call them fucking Wall Street brokers. We don't trust them.
That's
No,
a
we
fact.
ain't nothing like that. But
Real
Lee,
shit.
we do be in the speakeasies. You know what I'm saying? The cigar lounges in the back. You know what I'm saying? Come to Seattle, come fuck with us.
I lived in
Like
Brooklyn. I lived in Brooklyn since 1988. I don't trust no nigga in the suit, bro. Get out
And
of
that
here.
nigga said
You're old as
88.
dog dirt, Leaf. You're old as dog dirt.
Yo, Ox, I'm not gonna hold you. I mean, Brooklyn is the home of the scam, so I feel where Leaf coming from.
Exactly.
It's the home of the scam.
The home.
I just ain't no scammer though. You know what I'm saying?
I respect it. I respect it. But I do want to say this before we jump into another topic. I want to send this out, this PSA out. I'm going back to the job thing. Yo, listen, Mr. Wick. And for anybody that's trying to be like Mr. Wick right here, yo, the feds is watching. You heard? The feds is
Big
watching,
time.
especially for the young, the young kids that's looking up. You know what I mean? That's in the streets doing their thing, or they look up to the streets and they look up to them. Yo, the streets is not the streets anymore. People
It's not.
and the game ain't the game anymore. So
That shit is a big ass
Far from
mousetrap,
it.
nigga. If you ask
right,
me.
Far from it.
and on top of that. And on top of that, listen, y'all gotta understand what's going on. A lot of people from the Reagan and the Clinton era, they came home. So they need to fill up those spots. And that's why they are doing state and federal RICOs. You're going to see an uptick on state
Context.
RICOs.
They're not ready for this.
Oh yeah, I can't give him the
right now,
Talk to him.
Okay.
A lot of them
Text, you throw out that
Spitting
R
hot
word,
fire
bro.
right
Like,
now.
come on,
30
man.
years
They
old
ain't ready
stuff.
for that. We got to keep
Listen.
talking basketball, bro.
No, I'm not. But I gotta keep.
They need to hear this though. They need to hear this.
Because it go hand in hand. You know why I'm gonna say go hand in hand, bro? Because of the fact that a lot of people blur the lines between reality and entertainment. That's what it is. You feel what I'm saying? And especially with the youth and social media, they blur it even more. So I just want you guys to understand, like, especially it's not for y'all. I know y'all know better than that, but it's just for if Ox got is young, the younger crowd that's tuning in and they don't really know what's going on and they need some ism. It's some ism for y'all. Yo, the feds is on y'all body, especially they need young bodies. They're not looking for old heads no more. You heard? They're looking for young bodies.
When they talk about that, when you on internet, you showing money, you showing guns, you showing yourself with the same group of people over and over.
Right.
These feds they'll sit down for 18 months to a year and line that shit up, put it all together.
Easy.
You know, conspiracy to commit a misdemeanor is a felony.
Come on now.
That's a fact.
Conspiracy to commit a misdemeanor is a felony. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's how the
that ain't no joke.
That's a factual. That's a fact.
That's
So
what
that's
they've been
why I
watching
said
Young Thug since 2012, man. Then they came and got him just now. Come on, man.
You don't gotta do shit. All you gotta do is plan to do some shit.
And
it's
listen,
over.
Ox, it's even nastier than that. You don't even gotta plan it. You can say something that sounds like a plan. You could just make it just
You could get caught on tape saying
just
some
saying
shit on
random stuff.
on some Max B shit, and then it's a chick that's gonna listen in, bro. Like she was in the hotel room, all the shit going down, and she gonna give everybody name up. 75 years for all you niggas.
There's
That's
someone.
how it is.
All right. You see how Batman got his little, he got his little setup, and there's people that's in real life. They chill, they on salary at home with multiple computers, just tapping in, watching lives, watching this, watching that, watching this, watching that.
Wait, hold on. Context. Let me put a little context to that. And you
Yeah.
niggas need to be aware of AI, because now they got
They're
AI
about to
helping
take
them. This
over.
shit is way easier. They don't even really do
They
much
don't need
work.
to chill. They don't even
Come on now, they
They're
just
they
program
will
it to
take
watch your
over.
stupid ass, and then they put
Yes.
together all the evidence, and boom, they
Yes.
job easier. Just
Yes.
relax,
Using that
youngin.
chat
It is.
GPT.
You see, so specifically, kind of reeling back to like NBA casting
Right.
and just
That's why I
athletes
don't
in
trust these
general and stuff like
smartphones.
that.
I'm gonna
You
start
got to
streaming from a
see.
payphone,
So
nigga.
so
Oh God.
you see how y'all said Ja stopped following his boy on Instagram and all that shit, right? The
Right.
thing about it is they know like these niggas is together. So if one of his fighters get caught involved on some, I don't know what they doing. So I'm not trying to say that this is what's going on at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying if one of Ja's friends get involved on some selling packs, whatever they doing. I don't know what niggas is doing in Memphis. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But let's say niggas get caught on some shit like that, but automatically they're gonna think Ja funded this shit or Ja's a ringleader. You know what I'm saying? He playing with guns. He's in the clubs. He's drinking Casamigos on the internet. He's throwing up gang signs. It's got to be gang related. That's racketeering. That's conspiracy. That's interstate trafficking. All types of shit, bro. That's football numbers. You're not coming home no time soon. So just beware, like y'all, these young boys gotta beware of that shit. This internet shit, like you just on here telling on yourself. You think it's all fun and games until they come wrap your ass
Until
up.
them cops can put a battering ram through your door, nigga, it's all over with, bro.
And
Like
that's the thing.
we got you on
They
tape.
talk that this shit is federal. The feds will take your mama house. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Man,
The feds will do
seized
all
all of
that.
that shit, bro. Like, yo, we own it now.
they think it's fun and games till they sitting in the hole having a birthday like I did. Nigga, I turned 26 in that bitch. At the bottom of that bitch. Worst day of my fucking life. It's not a game, fool. It's really not.
Really ain't. Yeah. It's the last place that, like, because the thing is that, like, and now these systems is getting more and more packed up. They building more. They can't call us slaves no more, so they call us criminals. You know what I'm
Come on
saying? So
now.
now,
A criminal is still a slave to the state. You
exactly.
technically a slave. They say that in the law, but
Yeah. But they can't say it out loud though, because of Juneteenth, all that crazy shit. You know how
They
it
put
is.
they put all this shit out there for us, all these games and all types of shit to make us forget what's really going on.
Come on now.
They're listening to all that shit, bro. Y'all got to be careful. Man. If you out there, you know what I'm saying, still doing that shit in the streets, doing that shit, it ain't gonna last much longer.
I'm a much different man than I was.
Get to a
15
YouTube
years
channel
ago.
and start streaming this shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit, go just get a gig.
I'm a lot more friendlier than I was 15 years
Facts.
ago. I swear I
Facts.
am.
I don't want problems with nobody. As a matter of fact, I'm all peace. You hear me?
Yeah, definitely,
All
bro.
peace.
Like, cause now as gentrified as Brooklyn is, bro, like I damn they gotta act like white people, man. Shit, where I work, I'm like, this shit's ridiculous. Not no bullshit, bro. Like, listen, they see you getting into some. They can see you getting into some 95, 96 shit, bro. Like they gonna be like, oh,
Yo,
hold on.
there's a prison in Mississippi or Alabama, right? And it used to be a plantation. It was a plantation. They transported it into a prison. And
Maximum.
that they stopped using whips at that prison in 79.
That's
1979. I think it was 79 or 89. I'm sure it was 79.
Ain't that the year the 3-point line came in the NBA, bro? Okay.
I think it was 78.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
so they brought the free throw line in, and I guess they decided, let's stop whipping niggas at the prison.
That's crazy.
Boy, Larry Bird, and it was just like, all right, man, let's stop whooping.
Larry Bird.
What the hell is wrong with you, Leaf? What the hell is wrong with you?
Oh man.
This is what I get on at 3 a.m. in the morning, man. Stop fucking around.
I can tell.
Yes. Bobby's know how.
I done seen you for so long, even when I was working at Amazon, and I was watching you guys.
Hey, that's crazy, man. Hey, y'all don't really understand. Y'all really a part of people's lives, man. I be watching y'all at work and shit all the time. That shit is crazy,
Dude.
fuck, man.
Oh my god.
Y'all gotta realize, like, the viewers is a part of my life more than I'm a part of the viewers' life. Bro. I'll be
Yeah,
dog.
yeah,
I wouldn't,
yeah.
you know,
Without the
I
viewers,
wouldn't have, I wouldn't, I
even
wouldn't
though
have,
I
I wouldn't have no
listen.
content to make. You feel me?
Facts,
And the
facts,
thing is,
facts.
as far as basketball is, man, I don't know a lot. Like, obviously, well, I don't know people personally, so like, I shit on what you believe in. As far as basketball, bro, like, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. If you believe in something I don't believe in, fuck you, what you believe in, bro. Like on the basketball court, Bobby know that, bro. Like that's why I get at him every day about Scotty. You know what I'm saying? So,
Hey, he likes Scotty. He likes Scotty, man.
fuck
There ain't no
Scotty.
problem with it. It's his
Scotty was out
opinion.
there doing what he had to do, man.
Yeah, all right, man.
I might as well just say that Bob Cousy is the GOAT.
I don't know.
There are people still living that got Bob Cousy as their GOAT. I don't know none of them, but I know they out there.
I ain't working a nursing home in like 6 years, bro. That was the last person that told me Bob Cousy was a GOAT, bro.
Hey, Desto, you still there?
Leaf in a nursing home.
Desto,
Yeah,
you
I
out
was
there?
doing some work in there.
Hey, money's money, bro.
They fell asleep.
Desto left his phone on charge.
So I don't know
Bro, I
if
had to
y'all
come in
talked
here to
about
charge
it,
my phone.
but like it was reports that Brad Stevens want to hire Rajon Rondo to put on our coaching staff. How do y'all feel about that?
On what coaching staff?
The
Boston.
Celtics.
Oh
They need to give him a jersey to come run that point guard.
Facts.
Hey, Rondo was nice.
Hey, listen, Juan. I think I just said everything I needed to say about Boston, just in terms of like, as a roster. I think, listen, everything that they got in place, I think they would have been perfect for this finals against Denver in terms of matchup. But listen, I think we all can admit, man, like like they could get in their own. They could get in their own way. They get in their own way, man. Like, and the thing
We
is,
just seen it.
I felt like with Ime, he covered that, especially on the
Yep.
defensive
Oh yeah,
side.
I agree.
because
And
Ime was the leader.
Joe Mazzulla doesn't do that. And I went back to watch game 2 of last year and saw how we responded to losing. And it was just so different. This year in game 7, it just pissed me off because what the Denver Nuggets are doing right now, we could have did that, and it's just simply just cutting to the basket. Why are we just shooting threes every chance we get? Like
Nigga
it
took
was so
35
many.
And
threes in the first half.
let me tell you why. The difference between y'all and Denver, they got somebody that could damn dot up the court. Listen, I found it ironic about that game last night that Russell Wilson and Peyton Manning was both sitting courtside, and neither one of them was the best quarterback in the building. The best quarterback in the building was on the court. He was wearing number fucking 15, bro. Like
I'm fucking dead.
What?
I'm fucking dead. That's hilarious.
Peyton's a goat.
That was a bar. Let him cook. Let him cook. That was a bar right there.
It was a
Nah.
No, dude. No.
Bobby, see, Bobby, what you do? You try to take that. You try to take it literally. You know it wasn't, bro. Like you know how that.
I know. I'm just saying. If you said Peyton Manning, if you would have left Peyton out of it, I might have been able to get with you.
I do see where y'all.
We know how great Peyton Manning is.
I do see where y'all coming from in regards of Jokic and the playmaker he is, but the cuts that we could have made, I don't think you would have needed a Jokic type of playmaker to make those type of
Y'all didn't
passes.
execute like that all year, Juan. Let's be straight.
Yeah,
bro. Like,
no, that's a lie, Leaf. We did. We actually in the beginning of the season when we was on that historic run, the reason
They
we
were playing
was because of
completely
those
different.
cuts.
Y'all
Was those cuts? Those cuts were the reason we were able to kick out the shooters and shoot so efficiently. That was the reason why. It was those timely cuts, and it was like I said. Once Joe Mazzulla got that bag, he stopped coaching.
Right.
Once they finished him, he stopped coaching. I know it sounds crazy to say, but he stopped.
Yeah. And the thing is, with Miami, like Miami, it was one of those teams. They knew how to tap into y'all mentally. That's the thing. They used Jimmy. Like let's keep it real. Since Jimmy got there, they beat y'all before. Go back to the bubble. They could have beat y'all last year on that shot when it went to Game 7 if Jimmy didn't miss that. So y'all been on the ropes against Miami before. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
I agree.
Jimmy
I
Jordan.
agree. But I just, I felt like with another year of Ime, added Malcolm Brogdon, Derek White with the full offseason with us. I just felt like their talent, especially how they ended up in the Eastern Conference as as much injuries as they had. I don't see them beating us. I just don't with Ime.
well, I definitely don't see them beating the Nuggets, but
No,
y'all with
yeah, of
Ime,
course not.
yeah, but y'all with Ime definitely. I thought Ime was the leader that y'all needed. I thought it saved a lot of things that sporadic things that y'all was doing on the floor. Ime was able to calm y'all down when y'all got sporadic. The only difference was like in the finals against the Warriors, that bullshit that y'all was running, that shit was ridiculous. With
Yes,
that drop
I agree.
coverage and everything, bro. That shit was just disgusting. That's when I really found out, and somebody had told me, you want to find out who the Boston Celtics is, bro? Don't worry, just wait for it. They're gonna show you. And they've been right ever since. And going to this game 7, the way y'all regressing, y'all starting to look like the Phoenix Suns of the East. I ain't gonna lie
Oh
to you, bro.
wow.
Like
Oh wow.
so like y'all got to figure out. Y'all got to figure make something shake. Figure something out, man. I don't know how the JB situation gonna turn out. I don't know, if the Rondo thing or the Brad Stevens issue, because realistically, outside of White and Brogdon, this is really Danny Ainge built this team. That's really
Yeah,
outside
I
of that.
agree.
So he basically left y'all with this and say, okay, yo, they should be straight. And now it's been 1 year since y'all made the finals, and then y'all had a game 7 debacle this year, and now y'all about to go in the next season with uncertainty about what y'all gonna do with JB. It's getting crazy out there, so y'all got to figure this shit out.
Yeah,
Like
I
I got
was, I was on board with the JB to Dame for Dame, but I I am okay with us keeping JB and that 600 million between those two.
What
personally,
about
I
Danilo
don't.
Gallinari?
Yeah, that's another that I believe
Danilo
he's
Gallinari would
gonna
have made
pick
a
up
huge
his last year.
difference.
I think he's gonna pick up his last year. I feel like him and Al. I think we have to bring Al off the bench. Um,
I think y'all got as much as out of Al y'all could get, bro. In his 30s,
yeah,
Facts.
Honestly,
y'all,
yes.
y'all
Facts.
got y'all got the absolute best out of a motherfucker that's supposed to be done 4 years ago.
Man, for
Especially in
Y'all
real.
yes,
maxed
Atlanta
him out.
when Al Horford was in Atlanta.
yes,
Y'all got more
yes.
out of
I
Al than anybody got out of Al. Like
personally, I felt like he was better in Boston than he was in Atlanta. At least his first stint.
Factually, yes, because
yeah.
he
Yeah,
was well rounded and
I say
he was more defense.
going all the way back to the first year y'all had Tatum, and I think y'all had him the year before y'all had Tatum. Didn't y'all have
yeah,
when y'all
yeah,
had
yeah. That was his
IT?
first stint when he was with IT. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all had IT. Y'all was in the finals. Then y'all got Tatum. Y'all gave up the first pick, which wound up being Fultz, and got Tatum any damn way. Y'all had a gold
Yep.
mine, and y'all only been in the finals once. This shit
Hey
ain't it,
man.
man. Like something got to shake, man.
But at the
So
same
something.
time, Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown, they're only 25 and 26. Like I
Yes,
don't think a
they're
lot
young.
of the stars in our league would have accomplished what they have accomplished at
With
their age.
right, man, yeah, we accomplished what
So
they
I
accomplished.
that's really the main reason why I'm like, okay, I'm okay with giving JB and JT that bag because they're only 25 and 26.
And
Oh
here's
yeah,
Even when they hit
absolutely.
30, we still have an
you
opportunity
know
to get.
you know what's the crazy thing about the years in the NBA? They go by like at snap. They go by just like that. 5 years
Yeah.
ago, they was just in the finals. He was dunking on LeBron, and he couldn't even go out get a drink. And
That
then
was
and
a
then you
lucky
wind up
dunk.
get then you wind up getting shot out the game by Jack and Jill, aka Terry Rozier and Marcus Smart.
He said,
You know what I'm
"Lucky
saying?
dunk."
So like that. My thing is
I'm a
just
Cavs
like
fan.
yo, and my thing is just like yo, Milwaukee got a ring on y'all watch. Miami been to the finals. This is the second time on y'all watch. Uh, 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 uh. The only team that didn't do nothing was my Brooklyn Nets. We blew that. We probably worse off to y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like that's the only team that didn't do anything. And Philly. And those the only two teams that didn't do that. Y'all own Philly. Every time y'all play them, they a joke. You know what I'm saying? So
They did my
uh,
boy Kyrie dirty, man. It's
yeah,
crazy.
and
Nah,
Kyrie
Toronto
did it
got
to
a
him
ring.
damn self.
Yeah,
Bro,
Toronto got a
Kyrie
ring
did
on
us
y'all
dirty,
watch.
man.
You know what I'm saying?
bro,
Wait,
he
wait,
So
wait, wait,
posted
wait,
a
wait, wait,
link.
wait,
my
wait, wait.
thing,
Hold on. Hold on. What y'all mean by Kyrie did it to himself? What y'all mean by that?
He didn't do shit to himself. He posted a link, bro.
That's what
Come
I'm trying to
on,
understand. What y'all mean
that
No,
by
shit
that?
is
I ain't
No,
talking
I
about
crazy.
the
was I was I
posted
was
link.
talking about his
That's
tenure
what
in
that was.
Boston.
What
Yeah, I
up,
thought you
Bob?
talking about
Oh,
the
in
posted link.
Boston? Oh, yeah. Okay.
In
Well,
Boston,
nah,
that's what
The
I
that's
meant.
not
Boston, the
fair. I
Boston
want to say that he
tenure,
did it to them.
the
Yeah,
Boston
he messed that
tenure
up in
was what.
Boston.
Yeah, the Boston tenure was an experiment. It didn't work, and then y'all went from IT to Kyrie to Kimba, and then messed around and then messed around. Y'all didn't need none of them to get to the finals, and then got Ime,
No,
who was your true leader. But
yes, I
then
didn't.
Ime
I
messed
didn't.
it up, man, by
Hey, real
messing
quick,
around.
y'all. We got Quan up here. What's good, Quan?
What's up, Ox? How y'all boys doing, man?
What's
Salute,
going
Salute.
on?
salute, salute.
Everybody healthy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
surviving.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm about to get this leg drop in, but I'm healthy, man. I'm all right.
All right. What was the conversation about JB and them?
Oh,
It was about
I'm a Celtics fan, and I was on the ropes about I was kind of on the trade JB for Dame, but I came down to my senses, and I think I'm okay with me personally. I'm okay with us signing JT and JB to those to that contract.
Yeah, I like that too.
600
I
mil.
just think if you add
Just to put
Dame,
that
it's
in your.
just a whole different dynamic.
My fault.
I
You got to
agree.
remember,
I
I just want.
agree.
James,
I
you
just
got a
want. I
real
just want to
coach.
say 600 mil. Y'all cool with 600 mil? I'm just
Yeah.
asking.
That's too
Y'all
much.
cool with
That's too
600
much
mil?
money.
That's a lot
Hey,
of money.
That's a lot of
but you
breach, man.
gotta look.
I don't
I'm
know the
looking at.
Celtics. I don't know the Celtics to give up money like that. When it was time to pay the big three, they gave them up. When it was time to pay IT, they gave them up. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, a gold mine, like even though I got a gold mine basically from Billy King and our dumbass front office, and getting JT and JB, um. I don't know. Like, I don't really see y'all paying them, bro. Like, unless they provide that title. Boston is a title town. You know what I'm
I
saying, bro?
agree.
Like
Yeah, because if they pay him,
The Celtics and the Lakers are trust fund babies of the league, man. Like, if y'all ain't,
Yes, they
y'all ain't
are.
putting no banners up, then this is
Banners
if
or
they
basically
pay
bust.
him, how the rest of the roster gonna look? They're gonna have to change the roster up.
exactly.
I don't feel like it's really much that we'll need to change up. Maybe a dynamic playmaker will
Get
probably
Marcus
be the most
dumbass out of
important
there.
thing. But I think
There's
Brad
nothing
Stevens
wrong with Marcus
is a
Smart.
pretty good uh how can I say it? He picks well in the draft, I should say. So I'm not really worried about just adding on P. I just think the dynamic playmaker is the really main goal we need.
Yeah, I just think they need a real guard though, man. They really need a real guard to put them in position to score easy buckets. Because
For
I say,
sure, for
JT
sure.
and Jalen Brown take a lot
I
of
say,
horrible shots.
Yes, I
I
agree.
say,
I
blow
agree.
all
I
this
I
shit
was
up,
just
bro. Go
mentioning
get
them.
Tyrese Halliburton. The hell with it.
I was just about to say Tyrese
That would
Halliburton.
be
You read my
perfect.
mind, Leaf.
That would be perfect. I don't.
Yeah,
I,
that'd be nasty.
I don't see
Blow
him.
that
I don't
whole
Indiana
see him
shit
ain't
up
taking
and
coming up
get
shit
off
at
Tyrese
that.
all.
Halliburton.
Indiana
Yeah, that's
ain't
real
coming off
Well,
shit.
of that.
I
He's
was just
nasty.
telling them. Brad Stevens was thinking about bringing on Rondo on the coaching staff with Joe Mazzulla. What do you think about that?
I like that too.
Yeah, I feel like that's as a coaching wise, because I feel like that was the main key of why we lost. I feel like adding him on would be the perfect thing for us as far as coaching
Yeah, but
wise.
I think y'all still need to get a guard so Rondo can coach.
Yeah, you
Like
need it on the.
Rondo could be the
Yeah,
point guard coach.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
so
Because I think
this
I
may
think
be
there
a
will be
long shot.
clash. I think there will. Hold on, Juan. Let
This
me
may
just
be
say
a
this.
long
I
shot,
think.
but
I don't know.
go ahead, context.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip
Oh, my fault.
y'all,
My
man.
fault. Why? No,
Bobby,
no.
I'll
The
be
reason
back.
I didn't want to stop you from what you were
I'm gonna
saying.
hit you up in the morning.
Oh, all right,
All
Lee.
right, Lee.
Shalom, my guy.
Leaf, I
Nah.
just seen one of your hats on Gratiot.
That's what I'm saying.
That's funny as hell. But one, I don't want to. You could continue. I didn't want to cut you off. But what I was saying was that, you got to remember too, because Rondo clashed with a lot of his coaches because he's very IQ. He has high IQ, and he has a little bit of stubborn in him too. So with Mazzulla being a new coach, although they're close in age, and it probably I'm not saying it's not going to work, but I think there might be some differences in philosophy. I just don't know how Rondo would be able to handle that. Although he'll know, like, you know what I mean? Like, this not my, but I don't know if his pride, if he's ready to take that what's the word? Like, kind of swallow his pride in certain situations and just say, yo, I gotta rock with him. You know what I mean? So it's a tough thing because look at Damon Stoudemire. I mean, in my opinion, I look at the leaves on the wall, right? Because Damon Stoudemire, he was on the bench with
Yes,
Udoka,
that was big too.
right? And he left in the middle of the year. So what is the brass saying to the coaching staff or giving the coaching staff that makes them feel comfortable in their position? You get what I'm saying? So that might cause some rifts with Missoula and the other coaches. You know what I mean? So it's interesting for them. But I see what you mean. Like from a basketball standpoint, that would be perfect, Juan. But continue. My fault to control.
No, I was just going to mention somebody, and this may be like a long shot, but I'm one of those guys. We have a person on the bench by the name of JD Davison. I don't know if y'all are familiar with him.
Yeah, I know, doggy.
He came from Alabama. He's pretty explosive, really good playmaker, and I think his scoring needs a little working on. But I feel like him playmaking wise would be pretty good with Rondo as our coach. I don't know if y'all really know much about him, but that was just somebody I just wanted to throw out there that we
That's
already
dude
got.
with the dreads, right?
He did. I don't think he got like puffy hair. It's like blonde puffy hair. He was like he was in high school. He was like viral for dunking all the dunks and stuff like that. He was
Yeah, I
like
think I seen him in the summer league. Did he played in the summer league, right?
Yeah, he was in. Yeah, he played for us during the summer league.
Yeah. I like it. I like his game.
I think he's going to get, because I believe Peyton Pritchard is going to sign somewhere else, and I think he's going to get a bigger role. And I really am interested to see how he's going to develop, because I think that could be the point guard for us in the future. Just it may be a long shot, but I'm just
well, Juan, real quick, I want to say that I think they dropped the ball with Peyton Pritchard, because
I agree.
I think Peyton Pritchard should have been getting more minutes just to actually be that real point guard that they need. Peyton Pritchard, I think he got that. He knocks down his open jump shots. He definitely competes on the defensive end, and he knows how to run an offense. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the guys that played college 4 years. Right down the street at U of O, right here, had an incredible college career. And I know it's not the same thing, but he could definitely be a starting point guard in the NBA.
I agree.
I think that just came with the coaching change.
You think so? Because Emma was playing him a little bit last year.
But
he played good minutes last year.
It's tough though, because Brogdon did come in, so now you got Brogdon, Derek White, and Marcus Smart as your playmaker. So now it's kind of really even tougher for him to get minutes. So it's kind of hard to say.
Right. Well, so I think Boston needs that traditional point guard.
Yes.
What Marcus Smart isn't. Derek, I think Derek White should play more of like that off guard, 2 guard anyway. But I think Peyton Pritchard is a better point guard than Derek White and Marcus Smart for what Boston needs.
I agree.
You know
I
what
agree.
I'm saying? Now,
that was big.
Maybe not Malcolm Brogdon, but those other two, I think Peyton Pritchard would be a better option as their point guard.
Yeah, that was big for us. In our 08 championship, we had Rondo, a traditional point guard. He couldn't do nothing else but playmaking, facilitating. That's what we need. I agree.
He was a good finisher.
Let me ask you this question, Ox.
Yeah.
Hey, what you think? Your Kings can add to take them to the next level?
Jaylen Brown.
I was just about to say trade JB for De'Aaron Fox.
Well, not so really. I don't know. I think we need to just keep getting better, like developing Keegan Murray, developing Davion Mitchell. We got a lot of players that don't play much that I think got value, like Rashawn Holmes, Chemezi Metu, Harrison Barnes. We got to sign and trade him with somebody. So I think we can get a power forward that's going to come and get on the glass with us. Help out down low. Maybe another backup center. Like I wish we would have signed Dwight Howard this year to come be down low on the center for us, just to help bring some muscle. But really, I don't think we're desperate to make any crazy moves right now. Like we don't have to do anything. Keegan Murray is going to get a lot better. So
Yeah, I like
Get
Keegan.
boy on.
I like Keegan because I think Keegan. I seen him in high pressure moments, and I seen him actually out there performing. I like Keegan Murray. I just think that y'all would need. I think y'all really need to play a big or a stretch big that can actually, like a rim protector, and put
Yeah.
Sabonis at the 4. I think that'd be a lot better.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say what you think of,
Y'all
is
be
it
big as
possible
hell in
y'all
there.
could do something to get Miles Turner?
I mean, put Miles Turner and DeMontis back together. That's not a bad duo. I think there's a lot of options out there. I think even a guy like John Collins wouldn't be bad.
Some
There's
athleticism.
yeah, just an athletic power forward to come in, clean up a lot of shit. Get on the glass with DeMontis. DeMontis is an excellent rebounder already. But there's times we're just undersized sometimes. Like Harrison Barnes.
Is Sabonis getting a max?
I don't know. I can't call it. I mean, we got to pay him. We got to pay him more than what he's getting right now for sure. But I don't know what the max will look like for him. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like what he made All NBA team this year.
Yeah, so he definitely gonna get it.
Yeah, so I mean,
Hey Ox, what about Nick Claxton?
I mean that would be nice. There's
That'd
like
be
I said,
nasty. I like
there's
that.
a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys that's out there that we can use. Because like I said, we got guys on the bench that can play. That we don't got minutes for. So we can package guys like Terrence Davis, Rashawn Holmes. Those are guys that can add value to a lot of different teams. So,
Keep Trey Lyles. He was hooping.
Yeah, I mean, not Trey Lyles ain't going nowhere.
He is balling.
Yeah.
What about Kevin Herter? Isn't he on the team?
Unless we can package him and get somebody like Jaylen Brown with package. Like I said, I have put together a couple different trade scenarios that that could get us that could get us a Jaylen Brown, but Kevin Herter would definitely have to go. And I'm not mad at that.
I get rid of his ass missing all them wide open ass shots.
Well, this
he's nice on 2K.
This is the thing with Kevin Herter though. He is an incredible shooter. Kevin Herter is definitely.
Oh yeah, he definitely can shoot it.
He'll miss some shots. He'll fall into slumps. I do believe that if we could have got out of that game 7, that he would have showed up in the second round and hit some big shots for us. Kevin, he just got to get in.
He's streaky.
He's streaky for sure.
He just had a bad series.
He's hot. I'm saying he hitting that motherfucker. So what if y'all do? We don't want Damian Lillard out there.
And what I'm excited about too, Ox, is that I heard that they thinking about drafting Keegan's brother, who plays very similar like him. I think y'all got the 24th pick, so I think that they're eyeing him, right? Because and I think honestly, if I'm the Kings, I do that. You got two guys that can shoot. You know what I mean? Like play very similar, and you kind of, you know what I mean, mix and match. The Kings would be fools if they had the opportunity draft him. Him.
I mean, they're both.
I like the way they play, man. I like the way they play because they play as a team. They like playing with each other.
Yeah, I think so, and that's what man. I wanted to get Malik Monk out the draft, but when we got him how we did, you know what I'm saying, to put him back with De'Aaron, I think that was just slept on because they they're good friends. They love playing with each other. They got each other's back. So
Yeah, I think if y'all would have drafted them together, I think they would have been one of the top duos in the league. I feel like Monk wouldn't have went. He would have consistently got better and better. I feel like because in Charlotte, man. Just a bad organization.
I'm happy we didn't get him out the draft because it wouldn't have worked out because we used that pick to get De'Aaron Fox, so it wouldn't have worked out the way this did. So it came full circle. But out of college, out of Kentucky, I thought Malik was better than De'Aaron coming out of college, and so I'm happy it worked out the way it did though for sure.
Ox.
De'Aaron cold, man.
Would you rather get rid of what's it called, Harrison Barnes or Keegan Herter?
Harrison Barnes. We got him with Harrison Barnes.
Harrison Barnes and out of there.
Well, Harrison
he wasn't playing bad.
Harrison Barnes is a hell of a player. I like Harrison.
No,
Barnes.
he is.
Yeah, Harrison Barnes is a really, really good player. I like Harrison. He does all this shit. He's our glue guy. He's our vet. But he's it's just ran its course. That's all. It's time for us to make the best of his value.
Right.
There's a lot of contending teams that could use a forward like Harrison. We got to take advantage of that.
For sure.
King's getting Blake Griffin.
What do you think? Let me ask you this.
That
What do
would've
you
been
think about trying to package something for Pascal with Harrison Barnes included? Would you like Pascal to fit
I ain't
on
gonna
the
lie, you
Kings?
was reading my mind by text.
I would love that. I would love that.
Mm.
I would love that.
Honestly,
I mean, we're
I got shooting already.
not giving up as much for him as we would for Jaylen Brown.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? I would love to do that. I mean, I don't know exactly what Toronto could use, so I'm not sure. But obviously Harrison Barnes in the signing trade to make the money match up.
Right.
They'll probably have to get either Kevin Huerter or Davion Mitchell, but they're not getting both.
Can't get both. Sorry.
They can get
It
one
might
of the
be a
other.
possibility. Though. I think they going Toronto.
And low key, if I'm the Kings, I'm not letting go of off night. I don't care what they say.
Yeah.
I think he fits that team. Now, everybody keeps saying, "Oh, he's a starting point guard," which I agree. I feel like he can be a starting point guard, but I think playing under De'Aaron Fox and way that Mike Brown is, I think that was given, especially if they have a chance to make some deep playoff runs. I think then he will be able to be, a leader of a team, and but I think him behind De'Aaron Fox, I think that's a great look for him. Like he's learning from a good upcoming point guard. It's not like he's like he's like a ball hog, like you know what I mean. Like he plays within the team, and on top of that too, you can see a point guard mature right in front of your eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So who you say?
Davion Mitchell. I'm keeping him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm keeping him for sure.
But I like him. I like him in like the Marcus Smart role because he be locking shit up.
Oh yeah. No, for sure.
But even and he's very underrated on the offensive end of the court too.
Right. Yeah. For
sure. Yeah, he was shooting blood up there.
Yeah, but if it was a situation like sign and trade Harrison Barnes and then Kevin Huerter in a pick, I'd do that for Pascal.
Yeah, in a heartbeat. Honestly, in a heartbeat, like that wouldn't even be no hesitation for that. For sure. And then like, are you high on any of the two Thompson twins?
I haven't seen enough of them.
Okay.
Only thing I've seen on them is highlights, and so I see the I've seen the athleticism, I've seen the rim pressure, I've seen the size, I've seen that, but I've seen enough. This year, actually, this draft is the most sleep I've been on a draft. I'm usually up on college basketball. This year, I wasn't aware too much. I wish I would have paid a little more attention, but I wasn't playing college ball, but just the up and comers.
For sure. Nah, I've been because I watched a little bit of college, but I really focused more on just the scouting part. So like I already did myself. I already like went through the whole draft board for the first round, and that's how I found out about Chris Murray. So like that's why, so that's why I was curious to see like what's your opinion. Another team. If the Kings, and I don't know if he's gonna fall down this far, but I think there's a 6'6" forward from Ohio State named Sensabaugh, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. When you get a chance, Ox, go watch him. Bucket.
Love my Buckeyes.
And on top of that too, like it's a very simple moves, but he gets his spots, shoot 3-level scorer, a little bit bigger. Like he's 6'6", I think he's like 235. Like he's a little bit wide, but he can post up.
He's a little bigger than he played more down low than Keegan too.
Yes, for sure. Like so, if they can't get Chris, I would definitely look at getting Sensabaugh. But I don't know if he's gonna fall that low in the draft. I think he's gonna be more so like in the 15 to 20 range. And I know you guys got the 24 pick, so I'm just real. When I get some more like information about him, I'll tap you into him because he's really really dope, and I think the Kings would do wonders with him, especially with like the ball movement, the 3-level scoring. Like I think they could do some high-low stuff, some good high-low stuff.
Well, y'all don't forget we still got the cat over there that play with Shaq over in Olympiacos. You know,
that's
so
a fact.
We drafted him. He just
that's a factual. That's a factual.
So he's definitely stretching out the floor. He's knocking shit down.
Yep, for sure. Oh man, back from the dead. back
we
from
never
the
die.
Oh,
We
Jalen.
never die. We
back
stay
from
out here.
Oh,
Jalen.
Jalen.
We never die. You
What
know
did
what
I
it is.
what?
Hey,
Jalen,
you know
I
what it
sent
is?
y'all the link directly in the group chat.
Oh, no doubt. My bad. I didn't even check that. No, he talking about, you know, I get jumped on open gym all the time. It's 1v8, 1v9, but we
Dude,
fight.
oh my, dude, I was playing
They
Borderlands
trying
3
to
and all
be
you were
smooth him.
doing was yelling.
Bro,
That
I'm
was
telling
They
funny.
trying to be smooth him, bro.
Hey,
They
man,
trying to be smooth.
you gotta jump me to try to beat me. You gotta jump me to try to beat
That
me.
happened today, Jalen?
Yeah. You gotta jump me to try
You
to beat me.
good?
1v1.
You all healed up your battle wounds? You
Oh no,
good?
we like 2018 LeBron, baby. We got big shoulders to carry the load. You know what I'm saying? We can take it. It took a whole damn Avenger scene to try to take me down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was.
That's
It was.
crazy.
And all that.
That's
I promise you,
crazy.
it was just like the way they try to do be smooth. It was
I'm
exactly
telling
like
you.
that.
But
Exactly.
you know, we fighting. We kept fighting back. Took some jabs. We kept fighting back. Always.
Salute, Jalen. Salute,
Yeah,
man.
no doubt. But yeah, no. What are we talking about today? Are you talking about a little bit of the draft?
Yeah, we've been bouncing around. We started off talking about the new culture landscape. Matter of fact, since you're here, let me get your point of view on that. About the new coaches, like which
coaches.
so obviously we got Monty in Detroit, we got Nick Nurse in Philly, we got MA in Houston, we got in Phoenix we got Frank Vogel, and then in Milwaukee we got Adrian Griffin. So I'm just wanting to know, who do you think, which franchise do you think got the best end of the deal with their coaching, and also which coach do you think got put in the best situation?
Yeah, I mean, I guess a couple of things. One, Monty got the bag. Like, we saw the contract that he got paid. So I think he knows his situation is probably not going to win for the next couple of years, but he's okay getting paid 10, 12 million, whatever it was. So good for him. In terms of best basketball fit, I'm not the Nick Nurse thing I actually really like, just because I think Philly is they still have the pieces to be a contender. I know people want to rag on Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is still a top 5 player in the NBA. I know people want to rag on him, but he still is. You still have Maxey there to buy. They still have pieces there. The James Harden situation, you're gonna wait and see what happens. But they still have the pieces there to possibly win the East. I think a guy like Nick Nurse, who with the Toronto Raptors, he didn't help develop.
You said win the East.
Yeah. I think Philly still have the pieces.
Who they gonna replace? Who they gonna replace Harden with?
I mean, look, if Harden goes, that replacement will be key. Do I know yet? No, but I mean, I'm trying to think of a player. I mean, I don't know. I think they're gonna have to replace him.
I listen, y'all. I understand the playoff transition with Harden, but let's not act like he's not a dynamic playmaker.
Of course,
100%. That
100%.
still means something.
Trust me, 100%. That'd be a big lock. James Harden is still, a top 10%, 5% player in the league, probably 5% in the league. You know what I mean? So definitely would be tough to replace. But getting a player that's 5. But I think Nick Nurse, he helped develop OG Anunoby. He helped develop Fred VanVleet. He did help develop a couple key guys. He helped develop Pascal Siakam. So I think him being there, he can help develop, a couple of these guys like a Maxey, take to the next level. Maybe Embiid has another jump too. I think maybe
Embiid got another jump.
He just needs to be
maybe with
aggressive.
Nurse.
He don't need another jump. He just needs to be aggressive.
Thank you. All he needs to do is get his big ass on the block.
So that's what I was going to ask. I was going to ask,
that.
and I'll ask you guys. Do you guys think, like, with Nick Nurse's coaching style, because towards the ending of his tenure, I was hearing that there was rumblings about he was kind of like getting friction. There was a lot of friction with the players. His coaching style was a little bit too harsh, and the older players like Anunoby and Pascal wasn't really feeling that towards the end. So, do you feel like Nick Nurse can have Joel Embiid buy in the same, because we said that Doc Rivers is kind of like a little bit passive and more of like lenient. Do you think that Nick Nurse will kind of like, do you think that Embiid is going to adhere to that drill sergeant kind of demeanor that Nick Nurse?
Before y'all answer context question, context. Can you imagine that though? Can you imagine that, saying that a coach was too hard on his professional athlete?
Unbelievable.
That's crazy.
Oh my god.
Unbelievable.
I'm not sure. Like, being in Toronto, I'm not sure if that was really loud noise. It may have been rumbling, but I don't think it was anything that serious. I just think with him, sometimes coaches, players. What's the word? Players just stop.
Tune out their voice.
Tune out their voice. Exactly. Maybe it was just the time to go. I don't think Nick Nurse did anything bad. If anything, the most thing he did, he would play his players 40, 42 minutes a game. The Tom Thibodeau way. That's the one thing that he started to do a little more. But I think that was more of a Raptors problem in terms of the bench, just not having guys coming off the bench and play minutes. So he was finding his starters,
heavy minutes.
I think I don't want, and you could consider I don't want to think, but just there was some things where, especially with Koloko, I felt like he kind of mismanaged his development. So that's where like a little bit of shaking. I felt like
with Bruno.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Bruno was just kind of overhyped. People are calling the next Giannis, or you know what I mean. I just think that he just wasn't him. You know what I mean?
No, I get it. But I think that there was a little bit of mismanagement. Sometimes I think you gotta let them go through some bumps. You know what I mean? In the NBA, sometimes you don't need to send them back to the G League. You know what I mean? Like sometimes that may take away from his confidence. You know what I mean? Like damn, like I can't make it out. You know what I mean? Sometimes it does well for players to go back down to the G League, and then sometimes they have to take their bumps against the best in the league. You get what I'm saying?
No, I see what you're saying. That could be a thing, but I'm a fan of Nick Nurse. So I think Nick Nurse in Philly. I think anything's an upgrade from Doc Rivers too. So I think Nick Nurse should see an improvement in Philly with Ime Duque. Ime. I don't know. People talk about him like he's some Eric Spoelstra level coach, great coach. And I understand he went to Boston, did a good job, but Boston already had established guys. Like this was Tatum, Jaylen Brown, who've already been to.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Who've already been to East Conference Finals. Without it.
Hold on, Jalen.
They love playing for him though.
Yeah, I'm sure that they love playing for him. But going to Houston, try to get players to elevate and evolve and improve them is different than when he was.
He's not trying to do that yet. He's not trying to do that yet.
Jalen Green has to get better.
No, I'm saying he's going into Houston to develop discipline and consistency. That's what he's going in there for.
Exactly.
I'm sure
he's not going in there to elevate. They're not at that point where they need to be elevated. They need to be disciplined and consistent. And you could tell that my Boston Celtics missed that in this series, discipline and consistency. So that's what he's going to bring to Houston. Yep. So I do feel like that was probably the best fit as far as all the coaches, because as far as what each team needed, the Houston got the right coach for what they needed, and they already have the talent. So
I see what you're saying, but I think he also has to develop the talent that's on the team. Again, I think Sengun is a big talent. Jalen Green, obviously big name. Jabari Smith Jr. So they have these young guys that still need to be developed, and I haven't seen them do that.
I am
interested I want to wait and
see how he's going to develop Sengun. Exactly. I am interested to see that.
No doubt. I think Sengun. Now that's a guy. I think Sengun could be better than a Jalen Green and type of guy on that team, but that's me on Sengun. So I think that'll be interesting to watch.
I like the Monty Williams signing.
The Monty Williams. That's not. We won't see dividends for that for like 3-4 years. Like the Pistons are, if they draft right, develop, maybe they'll make the playoffs in 2-3 years.
But do they?
Yeah, because I think he's an okay X and O coach. And I'm a little biased because man, I'm from Detroit and shit, man. We've been horrible forever.
But y'all actually got some talent over there, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I feel like
I get the people sleep on K, and I feel like he's a little nonchalant and not aggressive enough. But the talent is there. The talent is there. I feel like Jaden Ivey and K, once they get it going, they're gonna be they're gonna raise some hell. So I feel like
that's why I say I think Monty Williams can help. Monty Williams can help with that because he set up X and O's. They try to blame him for the Suns losing and shit, but them the players. You mean to tell me you on the court? You mean to tell me you just gonna let them blow you out by 40? No way. That ain't got nothing to do with the coach.
I'm not gonna lie with X and O's thing. Like I think I might only notice like 3 or 4 coaches that are real where like X and O's is very noticeable. Sometimes when you have star players, you just kind of give them the ball, let them do their thing. But I think a guy like Eric Spoelstra, Greg Popovich. After that, we start to get like who's a real big X and O's guy after those two. I'll give you Mike Malone. Mike Malone.
I like the six.
Yeah, 100%. But I just don't think there's a lot of coaches that that their sets are so pronounced, like it makes it, that their X and O's are so amazing that it's so noticeable. You know what I mean? Like I just don't think there's a lot of coaches like that.
But when you got a great player, half the time the player changed the play anyway.
Yeah.
Like Luka, if you give him an X and O, he gonna do what he wants.
Occasionally, sometimes I listen to something. I hear you. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of that in the NBA in terms of X and O coaches. We talk about it a lot, but at the end of the day, it's such a star-driven league that. You give the ball to Damian Lillard, get out the way. You give the ball to Tatum a lot of times. The Boston offense a lot of times was to give the ball to Jaylen Brown or Tatum, make a play. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Which was a problem.
Think about it. You run a play for You run a play for Trey Young. Trey Young gonna shoot a logo 3. He don't care about that play.
100%. So that's definitely problematic. I want to
Pick
talk
and
about.
roll and shoot.
Actually, I have I think that's why I'm not too high on the Frank Vogel thing. That's why I was so surprised that everybody's so high on that.
Thank you,
I mean,
context.
Frank Vogel, like Frank Vogel has shown that he's very rudimentary in his sets. He's relying on his star players a lot, and we saw what happened when when Phoenix tried to depend. Now, don't get me wrong, they pushed they pushed Denver to 6, but that's taxing. That was a taxing
And
a
it's
playoff
two historic games from Devin
Right,
Booker.
right. And I don't think Vogel has enough ingenuity to have, to throw so many different sets. And, especially with the roster we don't know how the roster is going to fill out. I'm not confident in his X's and O's, like complex, like the complexity of his X's and O's to push them over the hump. They're going to, like you guys
go a step further. I don't even believe in his defensive schemes anymore.
Me either.
I don't know, man. Is he still defensive elite?
That's how much I was such.
I think it's definitely relying on personnel, Juan. I'm with you.
Yes.
Hey, but I understand why the management did it though. They we already got 2 juggernauts on the offensive end, and we build around them. We don't need an offensive coach. What we need is a defensive coach.
100%.
I understand why they did it.
I get it, but Quan, just to give you a little pushback on it, I agree with you 100%. It's just you're gonna have to have some personnel to match that, because KD and Devin Booker, you know what I mean. Their responsibility is to run that offense and hopefully produce enough scoring. But they need to have other personnel to complement that. They need to, you know what I mean, so that way his voice can reverberate throughout the rest of the team. It can't just be his voice and then he don't got no defensive, you know what I mean, like God to kind of anchor that.
Trust me, this is gonna be a crazy offseason. Watch what I tell you.
I think this, because even though I don't really believe in his defensive schemes, I do say having a defensive minded big is key to his scheme. So him having
100%.
Ayton, that I don't really see how that's
That
gonna
ain't
work.
it,
They're gonna have
Chief.
to move off of Ayton.
I don't like that, man. DeAndre Ayton be out there crying too much. I don't got time for that.
I'm still a believer in Frank Vogel defensively.
I would put him on the bench.
I think anyone can make a team with the offensive power of Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, who's still a skilled offensive big man, Frank Vogel, doing what he did with the 2020 Lakers in terms of defense there. If he has the pieces where he can implement his defense and let these kind of guys on offense, whether he has an assistant coach that's going to scheme the offense, when you have so much of that talent offensively, they're going to score points. So if he can just shore up their defense.
But their talent is more. I see what you're saying, Jalen. And like you said, we're gonna have to just see how the rest of the offseason plays out and how they fill out the personnel. But at the same token, it's kind of like, your offense is very top heavy, and I don't think Ayton's gonna be there. And on top of that, too, I don't think Vogel can get that defensive intensity out of Ayton. I think Ayton is feeling himself too much. I think he thinks he's better than what he is, and I don't think he's going to buy into the dirty work that needs to take to be a defensive anchor. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm a little bit hesitant. And then I have a question.
They should get rid of him and Chris Paul.
100%. I'm with you on that. I have a question to ask you guys. Do you how many years do you think KD has in like playing? And then do you think if this doesn't work out with Vogel the first year, he asks for a trade?
he better not smoke.
Ain't no trade going down. Damn. With how long he'll play, I think it's interesting because Kevin Durant doesn't have a family. Like he's not married with any kids or anything, right? So he just basketball still everything.
I get that, right? But
so he might have maybe 5.
He's been how long? He's been injured. How many consecutive years? I don't.
100%.
You said
I think got 3 years.
Yeah, you mentioned.
I think he got 3 years. I think he playing the 38 or something.
Look, I think mentioned Jalen that maybe 3, but if he doesn't,
you mentioned that Vogel will have to run his offense through D-Book and Kevin Durant, but I don't think KD can be that consistent offensive threat for you for a whole season.
Right.
Can the Suns send Chris Paul and DeAndre Jordan together to Boston?
I don't want him.
Ayton?
For what?
Yeah,
we don't want him.
Jalen Brown?
Nah, we good.
I don't know.
Nah,
I'm
bro.
just
Respect
See,
saying.
to the
no, they don't
Boston,
even
ball.
need Jalen Brown.
Yeah.
Boston,
I go get Derek White in order.
Boston needs a point guard.
We need a
Uh,
point guard that's going to be available, Big Ox.
Yeah, Chris
yeah,
Paul
but
runs
I'm saying
last
Chris
legs too.
Paul don't got to play 35 minutes a
Hey,
game up there. All he
hey,
got to do is
Sebastian don't like that.
if they keep let's
He's
say
like,
they do
hell
that
no.
right. Let's say they do that. They keep Peyton Pritchard right.
I'm not mad at that, Ox.
Chris Paul can play 22, 23, 24 minutes a game. You know what I'm saying? And just him and Peyton Pritchard just running that offense. I'm saying move all three of those guys: Derek White, Malcolm Brogdon, Marcus Smart, Danilo.
You're
Danilo
taking all the way his score.
I might keep
You're
Derek
taking away
White.
all
I
the
might keep Derek White.
opportunities for him to get his
maybe
assist.
Derek White, maybe Derek White. But
But
I'm
Big
saying
Ox, you taking away all his options to play make. He'll have to
wow.
score for us, and that's the last thing we'll need.
Why would he have to score for y'all if y'all got? I'm only talking about this year before y'all sign Jalen to that more money because y'all got to sign him to it yet. So I'm talking about keeping Jalen and Jason. You know what I'm saying? You move off of Marcus Smart, you move off of Malcolm Brogdon, you move off of Grant Williams, and some picks or whatever. I don't know how it works out. I'm just saying if Chris Paul's there, Chris Paul's there to play that 20 to 26 minutes a game. You got Peyton Pritchard in there. Now he gets his 18 to 21 minutes a game.
That's what you mean.
You got Derek White there, still playing that combo guard. You still got Jason. You still got Jalen. You still got Danilo Gallinari when his ACL heals up.
I'm not mad at that because technically,
I was just confused on JB if JB was gonna be around, but I like that. I like that.
Well, because Chris Paul, bro, we giving Chris Paul this last season,
low key. Dead ass.
You know what I'm saying? This is his last go.
Paul always get hurt in the playoffs. He don't get hurt in the
last
hurrah.
But Quan, that's what I'm saying. You just limited. He's load managing now.
Man.
It's like he doesn't. At this point, Chris Paul don't play no double headers. You know what I'm saying? He not playing no double headers. He's not playing any more than 28 to 29 minutes a game max.
Man, Chris Paul needs a buyout and just join the Lakers on a vet minimum. Go on with LeBron, man. Come off the bench.
Hell no.
Do what you got to do, man. Get that vet minimum.
Oh, Jalen, stop it.
I'm gonna keep it lit. Listen. I think actually Boston would be the better option. I'm not mad at the Lakers thing. I'm gonna tell you why, because of the fact that with Boston and the Lakers, he doesn't need to play up tempo. That's the thing, you know what I mean? And the issue with Phoenix is that he had to play up tempo to maximize that team. So I agree with you, Ox. I think Boston will give him the more safe hub. I think the Lakers will kind of expose you, like he will have to play a little bit more aggressive. But I think Boston will give him that safe hub where he has enough scorers and he can literally just facilitate, get people in their spots, stuff like that. So I'm not mad at that. It's gonna look crazy though. Seeing Chris Paul,
I don't like it on the Lakers though because he made too much money.
It don't work with the Lakers.
Yeah,
I think it can work with Boston because it's just it's this year. We're not talking about try this for 3 more seasons.
Right. That's it.
Trying to preserve him for years. We do this for 1 year.
And
if it don't work, then you either give Jaylen Brown his money or you come off of him and you just rebuild around Jason Tatum.
Right.
And then also you get I know a lot of people find any reason to not like DeAndre Ayton, but DeAndre Ayton is still can still score down. He can still do his thing. So and that's something the Celtics need. They need a big man that can drop it to in the mid post on the mid block and he can hit that jump.
He won't need to do much.
18 and 10. He's an 18 and 10 guy.
Yep, we don't need you to do much.
And then also that helps with the Suns filling out their bench unit. You know what I'm saying? When you get Marcus,
that's
you get
a lot of depth.
You get Grant Williams. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I agree. That's not bad actually. That is not bad at all. Honestly, I'm not mad at that.
If they were to do that, I would see the Suns and the Celtics in the finals. Honestly, that gives Phoenix exactly what they need, and it kind of gives us exactly what we need. So, Yeah, I wouldn't be mad
Yep.
at it. I wouldn't be.
Makes sense.
Ox, I'm gonna hop off.
All right, Sebastian.
Good night,
Appreciate you,
y'all.
Hey,
man.
Ox, what you think? What's the sneaky teams you think that's gonna do some damage this year?
Sneak teams. It depends. I don't really think it's too many sneaks left. It's just all about people staying healthy. Zion, I gotta say, if Zion can get his health together,
Damn,
that's
a good one.
one right there.
I agree with that one.
I still think they need a point guard though in New Orleans. I still think I do not like CJ playing the point. He throws them off. Don't get me wrong. When he's hitting his shots and he's aggressive, I don't mind it. But there's sometimes he takes them out of their offense. Sometimes, yo, like they be rolling.
What if?
Yes,
yeah. I was just about to say, what if BI?
Yeah, I mean, Bi is solid. I'm not worried about Bi. He gonna do his thing. So
yeah, he gonna do his
thing. What if you have BI as the playmaker?
Oh no.
And because Bi got the same kind of the same problem with KD, where they're kind of too tall and they gotta be scorers. Like now, don't get me wrong, like he can secondary play make, but to have him as your primary playmaker and rely him on that, there's gonna be a lot of flaws in his game because he has longer arms and he dribbles. I wouldn't say he dribbles high, but he kind of has that KD handle.
I have zero interest in trying to see Brandon Ingram as a playmaker. I have no interest in that. Brandon Ingram.
All I need is a bucket.
We need you to
wait,
come
wait,
in.
hold on.
I need 25.
I need 25 half of the season, he was doing a lot of playmaking.
I still have no interest in seeing it. I need you to come out on the floor and give me 25 plus every night. I don't need you passing the ball. I don't need you trying to get 6 or more assists. If you can you get double teamed, you kick it to some shooters, drop it off, or for 4 or 5 assists a game. That's cool. We don't need none of that.
He was casually.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying, but I still don't. I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but we don't need that from him.
You can't rely on Juan. You can't.
That doesn't like. I understand what you're saying, and it looks good on the stat sheet, but that's not going to win you games. They need a point guard. They need a point guard to facilitate.
CJ McCollum, I don't mind his point guard when he wants to play point guard.
What?
I don't mind his
point guard. I'm not mad at that either, but I want the same thing from CJ. I need CJ to stop trying to facilitate, and I need CJ to score. You know what I'm saying?
He's a bucket.
He's a
bucket.
I like Chris Paul with them.
What's that?
I like Chris Paul with them.
I'm not. That's what I was going to say too. That's what I was going to say.
I don't know who they trade though in that situation. It's like you can, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not coming
I'm
off.
not moving off Alvarado. I love Alvarado on that team.
I'm not coming off of Herb. I'm not coming off of Trey Murphy. Like I'm really like
leave him alone.
New Orleans.
J-Val, you can come out the J-Val. You don't mind getting
maybe Jonas.
Yeah,
you gotta remember you gotta make the money work with Chris Paul.
That part.
So it's like what are we doing?
But I think
all this Chris Paul
his last contract. This last contract, I don't think is fully guaranteed. I think he only gets half of it.
What about Tyus Jones? I think Tyus Jones would be
Tyus Jones. I think he's a player that
he will be great. He will be great down there.
Tyus Jones can help a lot of teams, man. Boston.
The only thing there'll be a small ass backcourt. That's the thing about it.
Yeah, but I mean he's still good defensively. I don't mind these teams.
What about Fred VanVleet?
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I mean Fred VanVleet.
I think he's too much of a scorer, not enough playmaker.
Yeah, he's more of a scorer than a playmaker for sure. Sometimes he doesn't.
But he's more capable of playmaking.
No, he can. He definitely can play make.
Oh, Halliburton.
Okay. Halliburton can't be with everyone.
Halliburton. I'm saying that's a great fit.
Yeah,
hey,
the team
I'm watching out for is OKC with Chet.
Well, Chet, and the thing with back to Halliburton though. The thing with Halliburton is Indiana's not like Indiana's not even picking up the phone for him.
That's their franchise.
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
There's probably 3 players in the NBA that the Pacers will give up for Tyrese up. Like they're not
gotta be a top.
Tyrese.
Yeah. Like they looking at it like, yo, you gotta be a top 10 bona fide. Like that's the way I think they look at Tyrese as like, yo, he's going to be a star. Like he's going to be a star for
He's
sure.
going to make several All NBA teams. He's going to be the 7-8 time All Star, I think, for sure. As a point guard, he's going to be a Chris Paul of his generation.
Yo, this season alone, his floor
they
was
do got
Steve
Rick
Nash.
Carlisle.
He was putting up Steve Nash MVP numbers.
Yeah, no, it's
so
yeah,
like,
but these, but you know, the numbers aren't the same from now to from.
No, I know. Obviously, I know that. But what I'm saying is just that impact alone. Like, you know what I mean? Like the impact, the reason why I say the stats is because the stats don't tell how much impact. The same way that we looked at Steve Nash stats, and it was like, well, his impact was a little bit more than what his stats was saying. Because remember, the argument was that Shaq had better stats than him, but the impact that Steve Nash had for Phoenix was undeniable. You know what I mean? And that's why he won versus Shaq and Kobe, even though they put up better stats than him. You know what I mean?
Not hear that. What I was gonna say, I want to talk. Since you brought up Steve Nash, we brought up an interesting conversation had a couple days ago where, meeting with some friends, they're friends, and there are a couple guys, who played like semi-pro basketball, all that, and a couple of us just like basketball fans. We had that Steve Nash, Allen Iverson debate. It just seems like everybody who played the game of basketball was clearly on Allen Iverson's side, while us who weren't were more on Steve Nash. I want to ask the question to you guys and even Ox because he's a player. Why is there sometimes a disconnect between players, between guys that played the game at a high level and guys that just watch the game, analyze it, especially in that Steve Nash, Allen Iverson?
Because it's different. It's even for me. I see a distinct difference from when I'm watching the game to when I'm playing the game. It's like when you're watching the game, you don't see everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot more to it than us just watching it, and that's why That's
a lot of people.
I think it's more so that simple. It's like a lot of shit is like there's shit on the court that's a lot easier than it looks, and there's shit on the court that's a lot harder than it looks. You know what I'm saying? So and people would never understand it if they don't play.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like all good basketball players aren't gonna be good coaches. But I think in order to be a good coach, you had to at some point play some basketball.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And you didn't have to go to the NBA. You didn't have to go to the NBA. You didn't have to play D1. Right. All you had to do was play some ball, so you can really see what you're asking people to do. Right. So you understand what your expectations may be unrealistic. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know what you're asking for. When you're coaching or when you're breaking down the game, when you're analyzing the game.
Right.
That's why just for example, when I'm trying to explain to Lo. Like, when you're in a pick and roll and you're the roll man, or even when you're coming off the pick and roll, you know what I'm saying? There's ways to attack the pick and roll. You the hedge man. You attack the hedge man's outside leg. You're not supposed to stop and wait unless you're a Chris Paul pro.
Hell no.
You know what I'm saying? So there's different shit that you would never know if you haven't done it. So that's where the disconnect comes. I think
100%.
That's why a lot of times. A lot of times people that when you play basketball and you talk to guys that didn't play basketball, you look arrogant and you look like an asshole. You look like, oh, you would know it all. You're trying to show like, no, it's not. It's just like when I hear the shit, it just sounds fucking stupid to me. So I don't want to talk anymore. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's what it is for me. It's like I respect everybody's opinion, but I don't respect when I know you're wrong and you're trying to tell me like, oh, this, and I'm like, I can't talk no more.
No doubt.
Yeah,
so are you on that Allen Iverson, Steve Nash thing? You're on Allen Iverson side?
I got Allen Iverson. Yeah.
You're not saying, yeah. That's okay.
But a lot of that shit situational too. Like if you put Iverson on the right team, then the shit looked totally different. But Steve Nash was on the right team to play with his type of style that made him look how he looked. That's why I be saying, like, bro, it's a lot of stuff that's just situational, and people don't realize that. They think, like, if I got all defenders on my team and I'm really the only scorer, you mean to tell me I'm just supposed to win by myself?
No, I mean,
like I need another score. Now, if you put another score with me, you put all defenders around me, now we good. But if I'm the main scorer and they keying in on me and I'm the only one, it
Denver,
totally different.
It didn't work out in Denver.
As far as a basketball player, bro, like Allen Iverson was better than Steve Nash.
Right.
It's just like there's no to me. It's not something I can debate, bro. It's like Allen Iverson is better than Steve Nash, and that's no knock to Steve Nash. Steve Nash is a hell of a player.
Yeah.
He's definitely a top 10.
But Steve Nash will tell you.
Do you understand the reasoning why some of us would have Steve Nash over Allen Iverson?
Basketball.
basketball.
Yeah, because he did more. He got more. He got more accolades.
I mean, yeah, the efficiency, the playmaking.
That's what y'all say.
As a shooter, scorer, I think he was an excellent scorer too. Obviously, not the volume of Allen Iverson, but
he might be an underrated scorer actually.
Yeah, underrated shooter, 100% shooter, underrated shooter, exactly scorer. I mean, yeah, but Allen Iverson's always the polarizing one. But I just thought that was an interesting discussion where the difference.
But I'm not mad. I'm not mad at somebody making a case for Steve Nash. You got if somebody wants to make a case for Steve Nash, I'm not just gonna just dismiss it.
I can't dismiss it, right? I can't dismiss the comment. Right.
I'm never. There's never going to be a case that you can give me where I'm going to agree with it, though. Like I'm not going to agree with this, but I got enough respect for Steve Nash. I always like Steve Nash game. I like those type of point guards that's going to come run the offense. You know.
Mm-hmm. So I think also too, like, and I think the disconnect, especially with the playing of it too, because especially with the Allen Iverson. To do what he did at his size, like the guy was barely 6 foot and playing in the dead ball era, like where it was literally one superstar team or two superstars at most, or one star at most, especially offensive player, and carrying the load and, being physical, going into the paint all the time, still having floaters, shooting shots over there. Like he was a volume shooter, but honestly, the type of shots that he would make, tough shot maker, like the physicality, especially the physicality at that time. You get what I'm saying? Steve Nash was able to be a beneficiary while the league was trying to soften and, kind of strip the physicality away from the game. Allen Iverson was playing through that physicality and Steve Nash wasn't in that brunt of the physical era. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I think that you gotta tip your hat to AI a little bit more, just because he had to beat the whole offense by himself. Steve Nash.
I mean, they played in similar eras, though, right? I mean, they were playing. Obviously,
they were in the same draft class. They were in the same draft class.
Yeah.
But you got to remember, Iverson, because he bloomed first, he was competing in the dead ball era, like way before Steve Nash was. Steve Nash's more successful time was when the league started to try to veer away from that, when they went to more flowing.
And don't forget, Mark Cuban fucked that up too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For sure.
100%.
Mark Cuban
he should have kept Steve.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick though, y'all. Let me holler. If you're watching this, please like the video. If you're not subscribed yet, please do subscribe. We will be doing that live 24-hour appreciation show coming on Sunday, June 4th. So y'all make sure y'all tap in for that. I'm scheduling at 8 a.m., but I'm thinking I'll probably start a little earlier than that, probably 5, 6 a.m. on Pacific Standard Time. But y'all, everybody's more than welcome to come jump in on that 24-hour minimum show. Y'all, please make sure to be there for that. Yeah, Jalen, I want to make sure that the viewers know that I'm serious. You know what I'm saying? So, I think kicking it off.
That's work.
Kicking it off on the 24-hour show will prove to the viewers and everybody that has taken the time to subscribe to my channel. It will prove to them that I'm not going to waste their time. I'm going to create content. I'm going to do the best I can to make sure to keep y'all, stack with content. So y'all pull up on me. Let's make sure we get that cracking. But y'all go ahead. Continue on. I do like this talk.
I didn't realize you got monetized. Yeah. That's solid.
Yes, yeah. I got actually last night was my first live show with the monetization.
Come on, send that bread. Get that bread.
Like the video, or you don't know ball.
Yeah. That's a fact.
Straight up.
I remember you asked me the question about Fizdale. He's actually exec. He's actually assistant GM for Utah Jazz. So that's interesting. What do you guys think about that? Actually, if you want to,
man, you know what though, context. When we was thinking about Fizdale, you know what I kept thinking about. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to stay focused on why I was thinking about Fizdale, and I just remembered, man, have y'all seen this brother's wife?
Oh,
yeah.
Where did that come from?
All due respect.
All due respect.
Wait, I'm googling it right now.
Yeah, I'm never disrespecting
another
man's wife. You know what I'm saying? I would never disrespect another man's wife.
With all due respect, I hit that.
That is a beautiful Latina. A beautiful Latina. It is.
I tell.
How much?
My fault. I got
I thought you liked Jeannie Buss.
Bro, how much money David Fisdale making, man? Come on, let's keep it 100 out here. He either the funniest dude in the world, which good for him though. You a real nice dude, funny dude, good for you, man. But that check must be crazy. That check is definitely
crazy, man.
Yo, listen, he a GM now, you heard? So he's not getting that coach money. He getting that exec money, so he can't be mad at that. You know what I mean? For sure. But what do you guys think about that, Brass? Like, do you think, like, how do you think that's moving forward? You know, with D-Wade part of the ownership and Fisdale was like, I'm dead. I think
I show love. How to show love.
Time to go. Go,
James.
James.
We got a super chat from our man Jalen Carter. He wants y'all to know that LeBron is the GOAT.
Talk about it. Talk about it. Let him know.
Yo, you still old chill. You still gotta finish watching 92 and 93, man. I do.
I gotta finish watching 92 when this series is over.
Okay, got it.
Hey, real quick, what I want to say, because I made a short about this because it was people that was really on my line about that, because I actually called Bron the GOAT. Those words came out of my mouth. But when I said that, you know what I'm saying, I was showing love to Bron because he has the right he has the right to be called a GOAT. You know what I'm saying? And I want to know how y'all feel about this, because I'm kind of sick and tired of the top 10 topic. I'm tired of the GOAT conversation. Right. It's like if you ask me, if you're in the majority of people's top 10, but you a GOAT. Like, well, there's like LeBron is the GOAT.
Have you ever seen the GOAT
he
by
is
himself?
one of the greatest.
MJ is a GOAT. Kareem is a GOAT. Wilt is a GOAT.
Agreed.
Bill Russell is a GOAT. Magic is a GOAT. Bro, these are all GOATs. Like, I'm just getting tired of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we go back and forth like LeBron's the GOAT, Jordan's the GOAT. Like, man, come on, man.
Every time.
I didn't
talk about it.
I done been in the country before, and I ain't never seen a GOAT by itself.
I'm telling you,
I seen a herd of goats.
There are times I'll be pulling up. I'm here to talk about something else. And we'll be like, oh, here's Jalen, LeBron is the GOAT. And it's like, oh, we go into it right away. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants a piece. Everyone wants a shot.
Now you got to defend yourself. Now you just got to start swinging.
Every time.
But it don't even matter to me. I feel like, bro, people just need to sit back and just respect greatness. Everybody was great in their own right.
For sure.
No doubt.
I agree with that.
For sure.
Yeah, because like honestly,
people be disrespecting the greats. I don't get that.
Right. We won't see these guys again. We're not gonna. Well, of course, we're gonna see similarities, and we're gonna find the new generation that's gonna have some similarities. But there's some players that we will never the same combination. We're not gonna see that again. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna see different forms of it, but we just gotta be happy that we get to watch it and have conversations about it. You know what I mean? And another thing I want to bring up too, like, which is weird, like, people are trying to be like, I don't know what's the word, like, they're trying to be like, what's the word? Like, they're trying to hold on to their basketball takes and like take credit for everything, and especially with the Jokic thing. Like, now I'm gonna say this: Lowe has been on the ball from jump. Like, he's been talking about Jokic. He's been thinking. So everybody, like, I have no problem with Lowe going on his YouTube World Tour. Like, go crazy, because everybody was on your helmet when you was, and they said that you was bugging out. But you can now, I understand why he has that, bravado about it, especially with the Jokic thing. But everybody else that it's like riding low and stuff like that, like, they're like, oh my God, stay on that side. Like, oh, now you want to be. No, I can have an opinion about a player. And when I see more of that player, my opinion can change. I don't have to stay stubborn. And just because I change my opinion, what you guys want to keep Jokic to yourself? Like, that's weird. That's weird to me. Like, oh, we're the only ones that's supposed to love Jokic. That's weird to me, bro. I don't understand that. I don't get
gatekeeping.
Hey, man, I'm gonna start on my
bro. Jokic slow ass
opinion, right? You should be happy that more people are like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, just be like, yo, like, this is dope. Like, don't take it as like you're gatekeeping. Oh my God, you have like this secret thought and nobody knows it. Like, it's not an underground artist, bro. We all see the NBA. Like, it's not an underground artist. Relax. It's not. It's weird.
Do you guys think the Miami Heat have let down Jimmy Butler? For the past couple of years, like, he's been doing his thing, but do you think they should have surrounded him with better pieces or no?
I think they've almost borderline done decent. It's just rough. It's rough out there. I think they kind of they might have pulled the trigger on the Kyle Lowry move a little early, moving Precious for him. I think that might have been. I think that might have been the most questionable move I could say. But I mean, other than that though, like
it's kind of injury.
I think yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think if Goran Dragic and Bam Adebayo stay healthy, I honestly think they win that 2020 ring. You know what I'm saying? I think there's that. And then also like this year, you know, Victor Oladipo and my boy Tyler, they both get hurt. Right. It's like they got talent on that Miami roster. I hate the idea of people saying there's not enough talent over there. They got a shit ton of talent over there.
I think, but to be fair though, there has been some talks I've heard before. I don't know if it's true, but the owner, which is Mickey Arison, if I'm not mistaken, I heard that he's kind of like, you know, stingy when it comes to really dumping the bag on people. But I don't know how when they dumped the bag on Tyler Hero, they dumped the bag on Duncan Robinson. So I don't know what do they mean by like he's kind of stingy. With
context. I'm not calling nobody stingy for not trying to pay that crazy ass luxury tax.
That's true. You're right.
I'll tell you what. If I'm a team owner, I'm not paying no luxury tax.
Think about it.
This is the cap. This is the cap. If y'all
think about it.
This is what we got. If y'all can't win with what I'm willing to pay for, go work somewhere else because I'm not doing it.
Ox, think about it. They saying he cheap as hell. He ain't trying to put no talent around him, but they in the finals.
Right.
Hey, man, this is
like you ain't just making it to the finals with no talent, bro. I don't care what nobody say. Talking about these players undrafted, they seen something clearly in them to where they playing them heavy minutes.
Thank you, Quan. Thank you. I'm happy you said that because I was trying to say that on the panel, but I didn't get a chance to get my take off. The what you call it? The ability. So that they're like, oh, you got them around undrafted players. I think that's the ability to find a diamond in the rough. The ability
exactly.
the ability to find a diamond in the rough is everybody don't got that ability.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like for them to be able to do that, I think that shows a lot. Like they're actually just good at their job.
So Ox and
like you see teams like nobody knew. Like I'm from Michigan, bro. So I already knew Draymond. Like Draymond was that type of player. So when Golden State actually started playing him, I already seen him playing at Michigan State every game.
Surprised.
So I already knew what he was.
Yeah. Good. Yep.
Dame Lillard wasn't no top pick, was he?
He went lottery.
He went lottery.
He was still a known commodity, kind of. Yeah.
He went lottery. But
what pick was he? He was
I think like 9th.
He was like,
if I'm not mistaken,
9th.
Top 10, top 15. Yeah, top 10 or top 15.
But
I can't say for sure. But I think it was like 9th.
Yeah, but he would have been a top 5 pick if they knew what he really was.
Oh yeah, if we redrafted, and Ox, I don't know if that's an idea that you want to do, and I think that'll be super cool. Like just opinionated in your panel, like doing a couple of like redrafts, especially with like the players that that didn't get the love that like the Bonzi Wells and stuff like that. I don't know if you want to go into certain years. I think that would be a pretty dope topic that you could do where you could highlight some of the people like with a redraft. Like if I was them, I would have drafted him here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we real quick context. Let me say something like that because we did some of that like during the last summer before the season started.
Yeah,
but and we'll probably do some of that too. But context, if you got ideas like that, brother, please shoot me that in the inbox.
Oh, my fault,
because people gonna listen. They gonna take some ideas before I get a chance to do it.
I should know better. That's my fault. I'm out of pocket. Ox. My fault. But I got you for sure.
Yeah. Hey man, when it comes to this cap thing we said with the owners, the NBA better hope none of these Saudi Arabia, UAE oil kings buy it.
Jalen, this is one thing. Like this ain't like soccer and golf and all that. They just like football, they closing them out. Like they're shut out. They're not getting.
I understand, but like if they offer a team like they might buy a team that's worth $3 billion at $9 billion.
Yeah,
because they have a $700 billion fund. You know what I mean? Like their money different.
Back box funds. You know what I mean?
I get you, but you see, like these tech boys are stepping up. You know what I'm saying? So they got enough money to be like, yo, we got enough money. they're blackballs. You know.
Yeah, we're closing them out. No, you're right.
Exactly.
It's definitely a billion-dollar boys club.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that I'm for that. I think it's capitalism, so it should be an open market. But you know how it go though. You know.
These owners ain't dumb. They know the market going up every year.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
These teams costing more and more every year.
And, so how do you guys feel about, since there's been a drop in TVs, you know what I mean, and everything's kind of going more to streaming, and on top of that too, technology is kind of taking over. Like, how do you guys feel about, since the TV money is kind of be a little bit lower, you know what I mean? Especially, I don't know if you guys have been hearing, like TNT is not going to invest into the NBA like they did a couple of years ago. So like, how do you guys feel like that's going to impact the NBA?
So the cap still seems to be going up because I think they're going to get a bigger TV deal just because even though the ratings are technically less than they were in the early 2000s, right. I think they're going to include, like, again, streaming rights, social media.
Streaming rights, stuff like that. Yeah, they'll just include it within the plans.
So the numbers are going to increase, especially
YouTube
with like
TV.
And like international viewership, right? Because American viewership could be down on TV, but international viewership with the NBA is at an all-time high, right? For sure. For sure. Like right now, you see what a max contract is 5 years, 300 something million. We're going to see a max contract. It's going to be 5 years, 500 million.
For
$100 a year, right?
100%,
Which is going to be crazy. That's what's going to be. Another story, right? But no, I think the money's always going to be there just because of sport.
Right. And the thing about it is it's so much, especially with the collective. Like, I think the players really shot themselves in the foot, because now, like you guys said, they're going to put a lot of onus on you carrying your team, right? And now everybody's been so used to load managing. Now it's going to be rev it up again now, and then you're not going to have as much good players on your team, so you're going to have to, you know what I mean, like be in shape, work through those grinds, fight through those injuries to get your bread, because your all NBA counts on that, you know what I mean? So
that'll be that. I think players are going to play more games for sure, but I think players, as the salary goes up, might play less years. Like I remember you saw Luka talk about it. Right. Just like he's not gonna. They asked him, can he break LeBron's scoring record and all that? Because he's like, no, I'm gonna be my farming, so that or whatever. But now these guys are gonna make $500, $300, $400, $500 million in the 10 years.
Ain't no point of having long ass
before NBA players. Some of them had to play 17, 18 years because they were only getting paid $4 or $5 million, which again, a lot of money, but
everything will equal out
with expenses. Yeah, but I'm saying $4 or $5 million a year with the lifestyle they live is this much money, right? But now $50-60 million a year. I mean, you could in a 10-year career, you're making generational wealth. So I think a lot of careers will be less than length, even with the.
We're gonna see more people. So Jalen, you I don't want to cut you off, but so you're saying there's gonna be more turnover. You think there's gonna be way more turnover? Like we're gonna see like a lot of new players, turnover crop.
I think guys are gonna retire earlier because they have the means to do so and just do whatever they want for the rest of their life, whether it's travel the world, start whatever they can. Right? So much money.
I don't know though, Jalen. That makes sense when I first hear it, but then I'm looking at it like if I get in the league at 21, if I stop playing at 28 and leave with $400 million. Shit, fuck that. I'm gonna play on 33. You know what I'm saying? And give me some more money because, like, shit.
I feel the
rest of my life, I'm looking at that like I take care of myself. Shit, I still got 50, 60 years left for this life. Shit, I'm about to I'm gonna double up real quick and go really do the thing. You know?
Yeah, get a $500 million. It's old.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead. My first 4 or 5 years in the league, I'm gonna invest all that into some good real estate. You know what I'm saying? And then play me another two fat contracts and leave this motherfucker with $1 billion.
These contracts are crazy.
And then from there, like you like the opportunity of getting ownership, and here's what I want to ask this too, like eventually, like as these players get more money and they get more empowered, you know what I mean, especially with LeBron in the tech world and things like that, in the production world and stuff like that, they're making their ways where they're building some infrastructure. Do you guys eventually think that the players will invest in themselves and go away from the NBA? God forbid, let's say something happens within the NBA that they don't like. Do you think that they would take the opportunity and invest in themselves and create their own league?
No, because they're not going to come. There's the competition to compete with the NBA. It's so stiff. It's so stiff competition that the players would have to all be ready to work together and sacrifice and compromise. They have to compromise. They have to sacrifice so much money. They have to see eye to eye. And even if they did do that, the amount of time that it would still take to build that league,
logistically,
it's not. It's
it's
just like they can they can have a league, but it's not going to be to the magnitude of the NBA until for 20 years though. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's always difficult getting people on the same page when you have the top guys making 60 mil a season and the bottom guys making 800,000. You know what I mean?
And that's the reason why I asked so is because these guys are entering into venture capitalism and going to different the tech world. The thing they're getting they can get sponsorships. You know what I mean? Like they're getting these connections with certain people. I think I understand what you guys are saying. I'm just curious because the revenue that they can get outside of the NBA can be way more than the revenue that they can get from. You know what I mean?
Also with that context, I'm sure that if you have signed certain contracts and been in certain positions, then you definitely have to sign some type of non-compete clause.
For sure, yes,
I know with my businesses, especially the businesses that I bought into, that I've been a part of. So I've definitely signed non-compete.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I can't like for instance, like with self-made, I can't if I sell my equity,
right?
I can't go and make suits.
Another one.
You can't go make suits. I think it will be and then because I especially with financing, because my mom, she used to do financing for, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the company Brinks, the armored truck company and shit like that.
We know Brinks trucks.
Oh yeah.
Them joints get hit out here all the time.
Who's trying to rob one? Who's trying to rob one?
So when
they get hit out here all the time.
I need me a Brinks truck.
You all Jay.
Hey, gentlemen, we just talked about this conspiracy.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what happened. It's funny. There's a competing company called Garda. They actually got in Williamsburg. They got 2 of their trucks robbed, like 100K and all that. Like it was great. It was maybe like about a month ago in Brooklyn. Like whole bunch of Albanian cats, set it up like on some the town shit. Like it's when I find the article, I'm gonna try to see if I can send it to you. It's insane. When you see the video for it, you're like, how they got this off? Like it's like by grocery stores and everything, like broad daylight. It was insane.
Yeah, one got hit right up the street from me, right at the right in front of the grocery store. They was going to the gas station. They was getting gas. Man, what? They hit them. But the people stupid. They ended up being on the internet, posting money and stuff. They ended up catching them and all that.
You got to remember especially once you these monies, this money's are already identified. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like the bills. You already got the serial number on it and everything.
Right. So you got to be smart when you're doing them type of things, man. Like that's all I'm saying is, it goes back to everything. Everything, especially in America, everything got cameras. Everything is getting tracked. Everything is getting identified. So if you're gonna do something stupid, do it smart. If you're gonna do something stupid, do it smart.
Real quick, here goes a good super chat for us all to tap into. Jackson, I'm gonna ask you about this first. From McRobinson, we got, once LeBron retires, which do y'all believe he will be good at being? An owner, GM, or a coach? What you think, Jackson?
Le GM, right?
He's
GM, right?
He's already a GM. He got 20 years of practice.
I think that pretty much fits everything, right? I think that's the more logical thing, because I mean, how long's Le GM been said about?
Let me see, for about what, 12, 13, 14 years now. Hey, Juan, you still out there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What you think about this question? You think Brown would be a better GM, coach, or owner once he retires?
I would have to say a coach, just because of like his IQ. I think Bron is probably one of the smartest guys that ever played basketball. Or played basketball, I'm sorry. So I think coaching would be probably the best out of those three.
Okay. What you think, Juan?
I really think GM, far as like all his clutch clients gonna come play for him. He gonna get a coach. He gonna get the good coach. I'm telling you. He gonna have everybody come play for me. And they gonna come too.
There's got to be some type of conflict of interest.
Yeah, that's what I was about to. So go ahead, Jay.
He's pretty much gonna be everything. He's just gonna be all three.
He gonna
At
be
this
the owner,
point,
coach, GM, and a player. He gonna come off the bench like you
he might
Dallas
as well
has.
be your personal trainer.
Coming off the bench.
What you think, Jalen?
Honestly, I think he'll be a terrible coach. I think anytime great players are coaches, they have this expectation that all the players can do what they do, and that's just not going to be the case. I don't think that's going to work. Even though I do think he's basketball IQ is crazy, X and O and everything is fine. I just don't see him being
I
excelling as
don't
coach.
think
And
I don't
as
think
GM too,
he I don't think he look at it. I don't think he look at it. I don't think he looks at it that way. I think he believes players bring. He looks at what players bring to the game, and he goes based off of that.
If he does that, maybe. But I just in every sport when I've seen great players coach, in whether it's hockey, Wayne Gretzky, other guys in the NBA with Steve Nash or whoever, Jason Kidd, and then in football, a couple players, like you just don't ever see great players be excelling at coaches for whatever reason. And as a GM,
Brian different though.
I think LeBron a terrible GM. People love saying Le GM. He made the Cavaliers give Tristan Thompson at that time close to a max contract. Tristan Thompson was never good. It was because of his homie, whatever the case is. He picked Russell Westbrook over DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry package. This is a year where DeRozan was killing in the mid range, was a much better fit.
He tried to bring Dwayne Wade to the Cavs.
Yeah,
Did you forget that he brought in Alex Caruso and Austin Reeves too?
I mean, hold on. We're not giving LeBron credit for bringing in Austin Reeves. That was a whole team in the Lakers scouting department that found Austin Reeves.
But who saw him? But who saw him first?
Hold on. Why? Well, I mean, I wouldn't say who saw him first. We all saw him in Oklahoma. But what I will say is this though, I hate kind of what you're saying, Jackson, and then what you're saying, gentlemen. I hate when we do the GM thing, but then we pick and choose. Well, LeBron was responsible for this, but he wasn't responsible for this. Like that's why I'm kind of off the GM thing. I'm like,
I don't think he's a good GM at all.
If you're the GM of any franchise, and you're letting a player tell you what to do, then that's what I'm saying. That's not the player's fault. That's the GM's fault.
Yes, sir.
He only the GM when it go messed up. When it go good, it's the real GM. And that's the reason why they won.
And honestly, and as an owner, he might be a little too much involved. Like if he hires a GM and coach, will he let them do the job? LeBron James.
No, and that's
so everyone knows I'm a fan of LeBron, but I don't think he'll be a good in any of those things.
Hey, chat, y'all get in the chat. Let us know what you think Brown to be better at it. Owner, GM, or coach. What you think, Context?
Oh, my fault.
But I really think he's gonna be an owner.
Well, he's definitely going to be an owner for sure. You know. I don't think GM or coach is even an option.
What team's for sale? What team's for sale?
I don't know.
Expansion.
Don't forget Seattle and Vegas coming up soon. So
expansion.
Yeah.
So Vegas coming soon. Hopefully, and I'll be obviously. I mean, I'm pushing it like on my channel, and then like obviously like not on a major scale, like not really campaigning. But where I think a team should really be. I know it sounds crazy, but Albuquerque.
Really?
Albuquerque.
I think Albuquerque, Kansas City, bro. Those squad. I think those cities.
Really?
Teams, bro. Albuquerque and Kansas City. They need some squads out there.
I'm not mad at
I'm with
Kansas
Kansas City.
I'm not mad at Kansas City.
Well, before y'all down Albuquerque, have y'all spent any time in Albuquerque?
I haven't spent time, so I can't speak on that.
I like Kansas City.
Yeah, it's
Kansas City. They had Patrick Mahomes promoted for him too. He become
Patty Mahomes boy.
I think Canada needs another basketball team. Maybe Montreal.
Yeah, Vancouver needs their team back.
Right?
Yeah, Vancouver for sure.
I don't think Vancouver has the people to support it. That's the thing.
Really?
I don't know if the basketball culture is really there.
I don't think Canada can get players like that though.
No, that's the thing. So getting that's a big thing.
Getting American players to play. Yeah,
exactly. Right. So that's definitely which I get. If I was born in the USA, why would I want to go play in a foreign country where the taxes are going to be a little higher in some situations? Right. You're in a country that
Hey, but it's gravy over there though.
No, I'm telling you, it's great, but it's just like it takes that, which is why a lot of international players love playing in Canada because we have such a strong international presence, right? Yeah, the Greek, French, whatever. Right?
I'm right there. I didn't been there. It's like that. Toronto is like that.
It definitely is.
Sure.
Hopefully,
I would say that
Vancouver too, though, John. I think Vancouver,
it's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place, but I just don't know if the people can support it.
On top of that too, like so maybe the arena doesn't have 18, 19,000. Maybe they build an arena that got
a smaller one. Yeah.
That was like 14.5, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
14.7 or something like that.
To compensate, to compensate for the fan.
You have to
Hey,
understand.
Ox, in Canada, the women so nice.
Oh yeah.
That's beyond saying. That's beyond saying.
Hey, they so lovely.
We got everything, everything international.
For sure.
But the thing with Toronto, the reason why Toronto Raptors did so well here, there was a turning point to how the Raptors thrived here was because the Raptors, when they first came, they were slowly getting some fan, but it wasn't big. Only started getting really big once Canada really upped their immigration. So think in Toronto was always a hockey city, right? It's very Caucasian heavy hockey town, right?
For sure.
And immigration started coming in where now Toronto's over 50% immigrants, right? Close to 50%.
Hey, VC
and because of this man right here.
Yeah, because sorry, Vince Carter, which is why he should get his jersey retired.
VC.
So they came in. So immigration.
It's a shame that it's not retired already.
But so all the immigrants came and happened, and the sport all the immigrants gravitated to was basketball. And that's what happened. Because if you go see a Toronto game, it's a lot of immigrants show up. A lot of people coming from these the South Asian countries all play basketball. Like it's huge in the culture, right? Even though they're not as naturally gifted, a lot of them don't make the NBA because it's not built like that. Everyone's playing basketball in Toronto like that, so that's why it thrived in Toronto. When cities like Vancouver and all that, it's not as multicultural and heavy. All the immigrants do tend to come to Toronto and Ontario area.
For sure.
So again, I just don't think Vancouver has the people. Montreal, I think maybe. You have to look into. I think Montreal has a chance. If they have a similar, similar kind of demographic.
Hey, Jalen, you ever watch Grease?
Do I ever watch Grease? You got
the same hair as John Travolta in that.
Oh, shout out John Travolta.
Oh, the Grease movie. Oh my God.
It's a classic.
But I would honestly, I think Braun would be. I'm gonna give you some pushback, Jalen. I think Braun would be okay with being an owner. I think he would step back. And I think if he trusted the basketball guys, I think obviously I think he will have some input. But I don't think he would be so involved if he had guys he trusts. The same way I think he's going to mirror it the same way he's with how he plays basketball. When he has guys that he trusts, he kind of lets them go, let them do their own thing. He fills in the gaps here and there. And I think he approaches business the same way he approaches basketball. That's why I think he tried to reinforce his friends into businesses and, you know what I mean, have them have a good structure.
I agree with that.
So that way it's a strength. So I think
he got his boy dating Adele. That's why LeBron would go.
Bro, I'm telling you, he gonna get Phil Handy. He gonna get all of them over there.
Right. And
this is why LeBron to go, man. Jordan got his son dating Scottie Pippen's ex-wife.
That's hilarious.
LeBron elevating his team friends, man. Come on, man.
Let's keep it. I'm gonna hold you. That's a hell of an angle. That's a hell of an angle. Going from the club analogy and open gym. That's a hell of an angle. It all comes full circle, Jalen.
Hey, Bob, who is that picture behind you? Bob Marley?
Yeah.
Hey man, Jordan doing your boy dirty. Jordan doing your boy dirty.
That's the go right there.
Yo, for sure.
Yeah, that's
100%, man. Well, the reason why I think you had the ticker where he had that quote. All I listen to in the morning, and while I have my daily herbal medicine, is all I listen to is Bob Marley quote interviews. I don't listen to the music because obviously I know the music like the back of my hand, but I listen to his interviews, man. And I always say this, like that's why I have the it's so dope that what you guys do, and I think you guys probably follow that mantra without even knowing it. Is that you guys entertain, educate, but then empower? You know what I mean? Through the way like you guys support each other. Ticket supports you. You know what I mean? Like you support Dub, like Ron. Like you guys really have you guys have shown like you guys educate, entertain, and empower. And I kind of live my life by trying to be like that. And so that's why I gravitate to Players Choice and you guys like separately, but all together collectively. You know what I mean? So yeah. So when you had that where you can hopefully you're able to live enough to find out to accomplish your purpose. I forgot what was the quote.
Oh yeah, you seen that down there?
Yeah. Hopefully you have the opportunity to live in long enough to find out or to manifest what your purpose is, and that's what life's all about. You know what I mean? Finding your purpose and manifesting.
It said may you live long enough to know why you were born.
There you go.
I like that.
Facts.
Is that Bob Marley quote?
Yes, sir.
Man,
yeah. Shout out Bob Marley.
It's actually it came from like the natives. It's like a Cherokee birth blessing.
Oh, that's dope. Oh, that's dope. Oh yeah. Oh word. Oh, I thought it
Yeah.
sounded like a Bob. It
Yeah.
sounded like a Bob Marley.
Well, I'm sure Bob Marley probably lived by
Something
that,
along those
whatever.
lines. Like I've heard
Yeah.
something along those lines where it kind of resonated with that. So that's why,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's dope, man. It's crazy. That's why it's just
Yo,
it's funny to. Oh, yo, what's going on?
Good morning, gentlemen. Now I just
Hey,
wanted to
morning,
hop
bro.
on and tell a Bob Marley story when you guys are ready.
Oh yeah. I'm all
shoot.
Liz. Oh, but I gotta
Alright,
get up
so
out of here.
back-
I got an early morning thing. So, but I'm listening.
Context. Listen real quick. Just listen. Don't
Oh
go
yeah,
nowhere.
for
It's
sure.
about.
Oh yeah, say no
All
more.
right.
Say no more.
Back in Jamaica, my family used to live in Jamaica, and what happened is we had a mango tree. There's a guy that used to come and play guitar underneath that mango tree. Got really, really familiar with my uncle. And my uncle and them started getting famous. They started playing soccer and everything. They went back to the States. Guess who that guy was performing live in freaking Madison Square Garden? Peter Tosh for
Peter
Bob
Tosh?
Marley.
Wow.
Yes, my dad. I'm dead serious. Peter Tosh was walking through. My dad and my uncle Punch and my uncle Leroy were all in line, and they all played soccer together. My dad thought they were lying, so he walks right past them. He's like, "Yo, you don't remember me?" And he goes, "Oh, the dude with the mango tree." They went backstage, got to smoke with Bob Marley, got to chill with Peter Tosh and everything, and they had photos. And I was so mad.
Yo, Bob, I even got a crazy. I wish I could. I got a crazier story. Remind me if I ever tap in and Bob is here. I got even a crazier story that kind of ties in even into clothing. I promise it's gonna blow your mind, Ox.
No
Like
problem,
one of my
man. I'm
closest
here.
friends, one of my closest friends who's much older than me. He's a tailor, and he actually used to be Bob Marley's. Like he grew up with Bob Marley, and he used to tell me full stories and like to the T. Like it's intense. And I'll tell you some of the stories that he used to tell me. But I gotta get up out of here, fellas.
All right,
You already
man.
know.
Thanks, Context.
You already know.
Peace
Bob,
out, PC Blade.
salute. Jackson, you already
Yo,
know.
always,
One.
baby.
Salute. Light the beam, fellas. Light the beam. Jalen Brown, you know what to come through, bro.
I wish I got to see James Brown live. I never got to see him live. He did pass away.
I wish I would have
James
seen Jimi
Brown's another
Hendrix.
story. If I told you the truth about James Brown, from what I know, because my grandfather, his name is Pops in the Bronx. He has a lot of records. So you want to talk about classical music and blues, I'm your man because he taught me a lot. But if you want to talk about James Brown, that was one of the smartest men in the world. You know why? Because what he would do is he'll go in the South and buy. He'll buy all the radio stations and have them play only his music. So when people would leave those towns and go other places and don't hear his music, he'll get record sales out there. So that man was a genius. Like what he did was the whole South he had like over 400 radio stations. That's how he got popular. And most people don't even know that.
James Brown changed the whole music game.
I mean, yo,
Hey, Ox, you want to know what's crazy though? My granddaddy name is James Brown.
You want to hear a joke about James Brown? James Brown was on Soul Train, and there was a drummer that tried to show him up on Soul Train, and everybody saw it on camera. He took him on a private jet, and he's like, "Yo, man, I love you. The band loves you." Within 5 minutes of them being in there, the band loves you. I love you, but you got a job as long as this plane is in the air.
Damn. It was over.
I told you that man was. You want to talk about James Brown? I'll tell you some stuff. He did some really good stuff for this basketball talk. Yeah, I'm telling you, this man was cold.
And look, if you're Michael Jackson's idol, you're doing something right. I was gonna say Michael Jordan ain't even the best MJ. Michael Jackson goated. We talking about goats. Michael Jackson goated.
Yes.
That's debatable. That's debatable.
Yeah, but
King Pop.
I think Michael Jackson
dude.
is the most famous person that ever existed. If you take away religious figures.
Yeah,
I'll tell you why.
I can get behind that.
And I'll tell you why. Because I have my grandparents, their siblings, might not know a word of English, like back home, in Sri Lanka, in the village, whatever. But you play Michael Jackson and say Michael Jackson, they know who Michael Jackson is. You know what I mean? Like that's how it's different. Michael Jackson
hit that moonwalk. He had girls falling out.
When we talk worldwide, Michael Jackson was.
Everybody knows who Michael Jackson is. I don't think there's anybody in the world that doesn't know Michael Jackson.
Exactly.
Yeah, still, I'm talking about still to this day.
Right? Yeah. There's kids who were born 15 years ago still. It's Michael Jackson.
Hey, where y'all at right now? Where we tapping in from? Jalen, I know. Jalen, you in
Toronto, Canada. Yes.
Cowboy, you in Colombia?
Colombia, yep.
Yeah.
Colombia, the
Hey,
country, South America.
Matter of fact, Cowboy, I'm headed to So I'll be doing my thing in Mexico. I'm heading to Argentina. I'm heading to Argentina
What?
to start getting it on out there. But Colombia, I'm actually gonna start being in Colombia this winter time. So I'm gonna
Okay, so
tap
you
in.
know
I'm
what
gonna
you
tap
do?
in with you. I'm gonna tap in with you.
Come, look on Finca Yanawana. Come hop on Finca Yanawana. Email my boy. We got a Airbnb out here. That's what I was showing with the bird and stuff when he landed
Yeah.
on on your show. All of that is here. So you could just come here. You could talk to them about it, see how much it costs, whatever. But if you could come here, we could do a show, whatever. We could go ahead
Yeah.
and just help you out. We could do something like that. But the
I'm gonna
prices,
tap
like I
in with
said,
you for
is it.
sure.
I got you. Like I said, I know them, and they're personally my best friends. I'm not gonna screw you, and I know all the spots out here. I've been out here for 3 years, bro. You
For
want to
sure,
chill,
for sure.
Living in
show, I got you.
Jackson, you said you in Ohio?
Yep, 330, born and raised, Canton, Ohio,
In
baby.
Canton? Okay, so we got
Yo,
Toronto.
Ohio.
We got Toronto.
Rock Hall of Fame.
We got
Yes, man.
Toronto. We got
Yep.
Columbia. We got Canton. Quan, where you at, man? You in Michigan?
Yep, Detroit.
Detroit.
Fuck
Okay,
Michigan.
we
Fuck
got
Michigan.
Get
I'm a
Flint,
Buckeye.
Michigan, that water, man. Get him that clean water in Flint,
And
man.
we
I'm a
got
Buckeye.
the
I'm a Buckeye for life.
here. Where you at,
burn
Ron?
him at the stake.
I'm in Texas
No
with it.
Buckeye fans on this
Texas.
shit.
Okay, yeah, Texas, the great state of Texas. I be having
Not so
when
great.
I come back when I be coming, I fuck with Texas. When I
I
be
ain't
coming
from here
back
though, so that's why I say that.
okay, yeah. So when I be coming home from like Mexico, I usually have my layovers in DFW or usually DFW. Very rarely it'll be George Bush, but every time I clear customs, and you gotta go back through TSA. So every time I make sure I got to go outside and breathe in some of that beautiful humid ass air they got
Yeah,
got
what?
there.
Man, I got
Texas is
asthma.
lit.
I got asthma.
Yeah.
August. I be in here about to die. This humid ass air.
Yeah, that's all bad. I love Texas, DFW specifically.
Hey, Ox, since y'all talking about Texas, who y'all into the boxing? Who y'all like? What y'all think about the Errol Spence fight?
I don't really watch boxing like that.
Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford.
I got Crawford.
Why? Who you got? I know who you got.
Oh, I ain't gonna lie, fam. I do not watch boxing.
I stopped watching boxing. I stopped
boxing?
My
boxing,
bad.
man. Me too.
Boxing is the
And
thing
it
I
ain't
think that
even
really
because
fell
of
off.
Tyson. It's because of what happened with Lara. It's when Triple G was supposed to fight Lara. He basically got his butt whipped, but then Lara was supposed to have the rematch, but then he didn't rematch him. When I saw that, I said I'm done watching freaking boxing. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about when I'm exactly. You know what kind of boxing person I am. That's why I stopped.
Yeah.
All they just became promoted because Triple G fought what's his name Canella 3 times before they even got any one of them rematches. Lara was supposed to get a rematch with Canella and Triple G, and he got
Hey,
nothing.
but
He
you know
only
how
fought
that
the
go
one.
when you got somebody that's a threat like that, and
He's a left.
they don't be trying to fight them again.
Exactly. He's a southpaw that had a right hand fighting stance. His power was from the left, but he was a southpaw that dominated left. But when he switched up to the right, it was even more difficult because he was faster. And Lara was the only one to catch Triple G and Canella with a 10-piece and went in cards in the last 3 to 4 rounds. Even after he got knocked out twice by them, he came back in the fight. They don't want nothing from him. That's why I was like, that's where boxing lost me. Sorry, I went on my rant.
It's all good. But shit, fellas, I do gotta wrap it up. It's 2 a.m. I got to be up in 5 hours. So if Jalen, you got any words you want to leave the viewers with?
Any words you want to leave the viewers with? Man, what to leave viewers with? Yeah, go check out that Jalen Carter music, Spotify. New music coming out soon. Got a song called "Crying in the Rain."
I knew you was a singer.
Yeah, got "Crying in the Rain" coming out. Got a song called "Crying in the Rain" coming out real soon. Working on the video.
You on your Teddy Pendergrass. Keep going.
Yes,
Jalen.
I'm on that. That real
Man,
old school.
I love
Boyz
Teddy
II Men, a little bit of
Pendergrass.
Boyz II Men. A little bit of Brian McKnight vibe. A little bit of old school Usher Confessions vibe. That's the vibe we're really trying to go on. But yeah,
Jackson, you want to leave the viewers with any words, Jackson?
Well, pick your friends wisely. That's all that I'm gonna say.
That's not
just pick your friends wisely. As me being 21 years old, I've already dealt that hand way too many times, and that's why I'm a loner. I'm a lone wolf for a reason.
That's knowledge. Quan, you got something you want to say to the viewers, Quan?
Yeah, all I want to say is, man, shout out to Big Ox, man. The platform doing great. I see you putting the work in. It's all respect. And if you don't like the video, you don't know ball.
Straight up.
All about it.
Cowboy, you got something to say to the viewers?
Yeah, I just want to say two things. One is take time to grow, get time to know yourself and grow. Don't rush into anything. Take time to actually do something. If it takes 6 months to a year, just do it. Even if you fail, at least you try. And two, check out Finka Yanawana. Guys, we out here in Colombia supporting War Ball. Check out Bob's page. PC's the content. You guys need to subscribe and like the stream.
Right on. Juan, you want to leave the viewers with any last words?
Yeah, man. Trouble easy to get in and hard to get out, man. So just stay out of it.
Facts. Well, as y'all know, that 24-hour live appreciation show will be coming Sunday, June 4th. It says 8 a.m., but I'll probably start going a little earlier than that. Y'all look out for that. Be sure to jump in there. Appreciate y'all for stopping by. Please like the video on your way out. Make sure you love yourself, drink some water. And, I know it's a weekend, but y'all do not drink and drive. You know what I'm saying? Call an Uber, call a cab, call a Lyft. If you in my section, feel free to call me. Just don't get behind